Ayo, 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 what's happening? What's crack-a-lacking? What's happening? What's crack-a-lacking? What's happening? What's crack-a-lacking? What's happening? What's crack-a-lacking? Random show settings back again. Once again, apologies for the lateness. We are going to do a live watch along of Dejon Paul. Dejon, however you flipping spell his name, who's currently on No Jumper. Not No Jumper, sorry, he's on Fig Community World talking about this alleged shooting that allegedly took place, did take place. Who knows what bloody happened, but we're going to get to the bottom of it, courtesy of Fig Community World. So let's see what'll go on with these guys.
And you know what I mean? We got my boy right off the stretcher. He here too.
We got a special guest in the building. We got a special guest in the building.
Right out of rehab.
Stretcher.
It's not for y'all, a child.
Right out of seeing his physical therapist. Do not hit the gunshots. Do not hit the gunshots.
If you hear somebody breathing hard, it's not me. I got a reflex. That's not funny.
Oh my God!
If y'all wondering why I'm in the middle and all these fat motherfuckers is on the couch, that's fucked up. I mean, I didn't want to be savage.
Okay, what was the theory?
What was the theory?
What was your question, Pun?
He was supposed to rank us fattest.
Who's the fattest?
Not least fattest.
Oh yeah. No, I was saying like, you know, based on our sizes, you know what I mean, who's most out of shape for their size?
Who's the most out of shape?
For their size.
For their size.
What the fuck does that mean? What is for the size?
For your height. You look around. Height, do I look like I'm more out of shape than you look for your height? Let's make a report card on that. Who's fatter? You get a piece, sir.
Stop doing it. It's not me. This is water weight.
All right, who would it be to you?
This is water weight. Whoever got solid weight.
That's ocean weight.
That's ocean weight. That's full of shit weight.
Ocean weight.
Whatever, man.
Oh, man.
Ocean weight is crazy.
Who'll be number two? Who'll be number two then? Who'll be number two? That's how we do though for sure.
These two niggas is killing it right now.
Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
Bro, AD neck and neck.
First of all,
shoulder to shoulder. What's it for me for?
bro, first of all, AD going blind, bitch.
AD last. AD for sure last.
No.
But for your size though, yeah.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? Then 4.
Hey, you slimming down though.
I came in first place.
Down,
Fuck
man.
it.
Yeah, there it is. I've been staying consistent.
Your weight
You gotta give it to me.
fluctuate.
You
No,
gotta,
your weight fluctuate for sure.
Yeah, but this is the most consistent I ever been in the gym.
That's good, man.
Like I go like every day now.
I'm proud of you, man.
And he been taking that shit to that pen.
No.
Oh, that unzipping
You admitted that.
That unzipping shit?
Yeah,
Oh
he take
my
it.
God.
You
Would you
should
do
take
it?
it. Y'all should
Would I
fuck
take
with it.
Ozempic?
Yeah.
No, that's for diabetics. I'm not diabetic. It is diabetes.
Are you sure?
Not yet.
Are you sure? You bought what cheesecake?
Nah, I know I am not. And I haven't had a cheesesteak in 2-3 days. What the fuck you talking about? I'm not diabetic. I'm not diabetic.
Hey, that nigga came here. He said he was looking at the muffins. He
Oh, God.
Hey, he said I didn't touch
I
the
didn't touch it,
muffins.
though.
I touched him.
You know who did?
No, I wasn't going to be the first
You know
person.
who did touch it though?
I can go ahead.
True. Pops. And he probably turned the air conditioner on.
No, that shit was on when I
No,
sat
I had
down.
to turn that on when I got here.
Oh, see, that's
Well, I want to see when they get to the mess. I don't care about all these jokes. I understand they're dolphin, but I want to see
No camera.
Some of them all goddamn.
the mess. Are we talking about the mess yet?
I pulled up so I could, hear I told you so in person.
Yeah.
I wanted, you feel me?
That's real nigga shit
I'm
though.
man enough
I
to
respect
sit
that. I
here
respect
and,
that.
You feel me? I definitely should have listened to y'all. You feel me? And regret my decision of going over there in general, to be honest. Wow. So I just pulled up to, you feel me?
So
was wrong.
that's why you picked us.
Wow. That's a big deal. Dejon is admitting. He's admitting that he got it completely wrong with Adam and those guys. He should have stuck with maybe Fig. To be fair, anyway, he probably it's the right decision to stay with Adam. These guys aren't really his friends. Let's just keep that 100. They're just doing this because it's obviously an opportunity to kind of kick the boot in when it comes to Adam 22. But he was the person that was dunking on these guys before he was hired by No Jumper and he came on as a guest. He was letting his nuts hang. He was being a little bit too boisterous, talking with his chest a little bit too much about them being workers, about them being marks, whatever it may be. And then eventually he ends up working for them. And then he's surprised when he gets fucked over. It's almost similar to like No Jumper. No, it's almost similar to like the Joe Budden podcast. I don't know if you guys watch it, but I remember when that whole breakup happened with New Rory and Moore. DJ Academics made a really good point. He basically said that Rory and Moore basically thought they were immune to Joe's shit. They thought they were special. They thought Joe wouldn't fuck them over the way he fucked over everybody else in his life. And eventually Joe just did what Joe does, isn't it? Joe just fucked them over. And obviously they were then surprised and shocked that he would do that to them because they thought they were closer friends. But with someone like Adam 22, it's the same sort of thing. Adam, like him or lump him, he is quite consistent with his character. He doesn't really change. So you shouldn't be too surprised when he does eventually fuck you over. And in this particular situation, Dejon's realizing, that Adam probably isn't the great guy that he thought he was.
First?
Yes, gave y'all the exclusive because I knew I was wrong for going over there, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, so it's because all the shit that you talked about, all the heat that you gave us in the beginning, and all that Barry Gordy bullshit, that
rant. It gotta be bullshit.
No, it was with me and him first, because like I said, I didn't know.
Oh, here you go making it about you, bro.
No, it's true.
No,
it's the truth.
Nothing wrong with being inspired by that. That rendition was great. I mean, I loved it. Whatever you were saying, when I look back at that interview, it did teach me a lot of the headspace where we needed to be in, because I definitely got checked right then and there. You know what I mean? Like, you definitely not a part of none of this shit. You definitely don't have a stake in none of this shit. You're definitely not a partner. You're not looked at as a partner. You're not anything up here. But we were taking.
But what is the problem with not being anything up somewhere? What is this issue that some, specifically people in media, especially hip-hop media over there in America, black in hip-hop media, why is everyone so obsessed with being owners? Why isn't it okay to just be a really good employee, to use the platform someone already has to just signal boost your own thing and keep it moving? What's the problem with that? Why do you have to have ownership, partnership and stuff? Just because you happen to be black and you like hip-hop? That you have to kind of just take someone's platform and you kind of like are entitled to a share of his profits and stuff? Why can't he just pay you like a talent? Why can't he treat you like talent? Why can't he just treat you like an employee? You work there, you use it for your own, for your own benefit. You market yourself, you brand yourself, you get whatever motion you can from that platform and you keep it moving. This whole wanting to be owners, wanting to be moguls thing, it's not for everybody. If everyone's a mogul, who's going to be the employee?
Taking it as for what it was, you know what I mean? And we was trying to use it, to further our career.
I agree.
And and do what we was doing though. But you were giving before me, you were giving AD ass a hard ass time for being up there with the white man.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that he was giving me a hard time for saying that there should be more black people on the radio. And then the conversation just went left. And that's why in the second interview we did, you apologized to me for
100%.
how you reacted to it. But the conversation just went left. You referring to the first interview.
Yeah.
The conversation just went left. And when I brought up the employee thing, again, like I told you in the second interview, it wasn't to insult you. It was just me putting like a boundary up. Like, it's a factual statement. I didn't come there for that. I came there to talk about the report card. There was no radio DJ on that report card.
But it's funny though, he says all this, he was letting his nuts hang, but eventually he ends up working for that guy. That's the thing, I think it's all well and good to speak with bass in your voice about being independent and doing your own thing and being a boss. But eventually when the checks are piling up, when your pay isn't consistent anymore, you then run to the person who's got the consistent pay, who's got the consistent platform, and you then acquiesce, which you then have to abide by their rules. You abide by how they run their platform. It's not an issue. Again, I'm not the biggest Adam 22 fan, but I don't know about you guys, but he's not like a he's not like a trickster, I don't think. He's not conniving. He's fairly upfront about who he is, what he's about, what he stands for. You just have to move accordingly. I don't know, maybe I'm being a little bit too simplistic about it, but I really don't think Adam 22 is as conniving as a Joe Budden. Joe Budden's a little bit more sinister, a little bit more tricky, a little bit more slippery, no pun intended. Whereas I think Adam 22 is pretty straight up about what he is. And if you shouldn't be surprised when he fucks you over. You shouldn't be surprised when he does some foul shit, because that's what he's all about. So move accordingly.
Or that wasn't what I was up there talking about. I was up there talking about.
But that's kind of your claim to fame a little bit, right?
The rap report card?
No, your opinion about the radio.
I wouldn't say that's my claim. If people don't walk up to me,
I'm
and say
saying,
radio,
I'm saying.
walk up to me and say rap report card.
Report card.
I would say that 100%.
Yeah.
But people who really know me, like Day One, Dejon Paul supporters, the Dan Lay supporters, know that I've been pushing for there to be more black people working on the radio and just more black media representation in general. Since
I wonder why that is the case though. Why is it specific in LA? Because in the East Coast it's not like that. In the East Coast they've got a bunch of black presenters and hosts. I wonder why it is in LA there's not that many of them. Because they're saying it's an issue. So I'm just gonna go by what they're saying and I'm gonna agree and say there is an issue with black representation in hip hop radio stations or whatever. Why isn't that the case? And then further on, we're in 2024. Why does it matter? Radio is a dying medium. Or maybe it's a medium that's well established, that's got gatekeepers and harder to get into. Why don't you just do your own thing? Create your own radio station. Doing online radio nowadays is easier than ever. Why can't you just do that and compete with the big radio stations? Or do your own podcast or have your own video series on YouTube? Why does everyone want to be part of the establishment? Especially if you want to break a new artist, you want to be the new platform, the new No Jumper, because essentially that's what Adam 22 did. Adam 22 was never going to get on radio, so he just made his own fucking radio station with No Jumper. And essentially, look how beneficial it's been for him. He's been able to write his own ticket for many, 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 many years, even after his fucking, relevancy in the industry is kind of waning. No Jumper is still the one thing that's kind of kept him afloat. So I don't know. I find all this issue to be interesting. I wonder if it's to do with the gang politics and stuff. People just want to avoid hiring black people in general because they know what it comes with. Big up Young Old Vibes. Big up Koiler. Big up NJ Ranger. Wagwan.
Yeah. Which is not wrong at all. But do you feel like now seeing everything through a scope that you could have went about that a different type of way?
I feel like I could have minded my business.
Okay.
Because the same people that I was fighting to get radio jobs and brand deals and sponsorships and more black media representation turned around. You see black media people disrespect me all the time on a daily basis to say they're going to put me out of business and
exactly.
You shouldn't do a report card. We don't grade music. We don't cover music like that. Just promote it. Different things you've heard from black media people on camera, on audio about me. So in hindsight, I could have just minded my business. I never applied for a job at Power 106 or any radio station. So why am I speaking up for other people to get hired on radio?
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think he probably was really too worried and anxious about being somebody that people regarded or somebody people went to when it came to industry stuff. But he should have just commentated on other things at the same time. Probably he was looking for another angle. Maybe the rap record card wasn't enough, so he's looking to be like anti-establishment, talk about the radio thing. But he probably should have had a lot more hot takes on the fire at the same time instead of just like raining down on the radio thing. I don't believe him that he doesn't want to work in radio. I think he's lying. I think if somebody gave him a radio job or offered him a radio job, he'd take it. He wants to be in hip hop media. He wants to be in establishment. He wants to be somebody that people look at and kind of regard very highly when it comes to music and whatever it may be. I think that's fairly obvious. I think he's basically lying to himself.
Say hi. She's black. She works for Carmen.
Yeah.
I didn't say they had zero people. Okay. I didn't say they had zero, but you want more.
I seen more. Hey, Bun, I seen it coming.
They exist.
What's wrong with more? I think if it's 5, you want 10. If it's 10, you want 20.
But I think I don't think there's nothing wrong with hiring whatever X amount of people, right? It's kind of like how. Like I've always wondered if Asian people feel type of way about Mexicans working at Chinese restaurants all the time. Like that's always been a thought, right? You never know. Real shit.
I think this has been a bit of an issue. I think they're laughing at this because, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Duno part of Brown Paper Bag, and they had a deal with some radio station, and they're all Mexican or Hispanic, basically non-black. So maybe this is where the friction comes in. There's a lot of maybe Latino, Hispanic representation on hip hop radio in LA, but there's not a lot of black representation. So maybe this is where the beef is coming in here.
I think. What you say?
I say, it do cross my mind when I see him. I'm like, that's crazy.
But is it good?
And that Ross Fire.
But is it good?
I'm like, yeah, it's all Mexicans.
Is it good?
So
fire. They cook everything up.
Okay, with that same thing, do you feel like it's like a pick and choose when you want to choose your battles when it comes to who you go at? Because I feel like even when we got hired there, you definitely were like, well, I'm not even there anymore, but that's still my family, right? We still have a podcast together. You definitely went on a whole like thing about Letty and Vic, because I honestly don't give a fuck about music. I'll do my part when I help interview and do all these things, right? And I remember you mentioned that you took a whole clip and put it up there about when I say, and even that got took out of context, but I don't give a fuck. It's not my lane. I don't make money off music. I make money off my jokes. I'm very blessed. I have a whole career. I'm touring. I'm doing all these things, movies, all this, podcasting. It's going amazing for me. But do you feel like when you're attacking, you feel like, do you go at specific people just like I know you don't like Head, and I don't know if you like Letty or not, but you definitely love to argue with her about certain opinions.
I love to argue with her. No, years ago she had tweeted, maybe in 2019, and I
remember it. She tagged me
for a specific.
I think it's fairly okay for him to have an issue with that. If this is the case, I don't know nothing about LA media. I don't know anything. I'm just going by what they're saying. I think it's perfectly okay to be somebody in hip hop and to be from the West Coast and to have an issue with maybe not as many black voices being on radio as there are Hispanic voices. If it was the other way around, we'd have the same sort of issue. They'd have the same sort of issue. I think it's perfectly okay to have these discussions and to talk about why that is the case. I would rather get to the root of the problem and try to understand, why do these radio stations not want to hire black voices? There's clearly a lot of them. Dejon Paul is one of them. There's loads of them out there who are doing stuff in media independently on their own platforms. Why is it these radio stations rather would hire Duno and his friends instead of Dejon and his friends? What's happening there? Why are they specifically not going for a particular type of black person and they tend to go for another type of Hispanic person? I'd like to know that, because that might answer the real question of what's going on.
Of how I attack someone.
Go ahead.
But in 2019, she tweeted that if she was program director at Power 106, she would hire.
She said me, Cypress, and Vic.
3 Hispanic people to work there as personalities on camera. And I was just like, okay, what about some more black media people? They have plenty of Hispanic media people.
Yeah, Wagwan Koila, Wagwan Koila. What's good? Big up, Super Big Exotic 420. I hope you're chiefing up right now, my guy. Hope you're chiefing up.
Already, what about some black? That's just a question. So it's not an attack, it's an inquiry. You ask somebody, what about black? I've never say hire less Hispanics, I say hire more black people. But again, in hindsight, I could have just minded my business.
No.
Because I never applied to work there. I never had interest in working in radio. I don't feel like I have the voice for radio. So
he's lying. He wants to work in radio. You can see Dejon Paul sees himself as being like a very. I think he could be good at radio too. I think he's very articulate. He's obviously has controversial takes. I think he'd work really well on radio, to be honest. He should stop lying to himself. Big up Koila, probably because the only people listening to radio in 2024 are landscapers. That's hilarious. No, I think radio is still really popular because obviously most cars nowadays have radio built in, and it's usually the de facto. I know a lot of my friends who don't have their cars linked up to their phones and stuff. They just listen to regular radio. A lot of my friends always say that, like, well, the moment you get a regular car, you start to realize why people like to listen to the radio, especially in the background while you're driving around and shit. So it's still prevalent, don't get me wrong, but I just think if you're a young person, under the age of 40, I don't see why you're trying to break into the radio industry, because the people that work there don't want to quit because it's a fucking good job. They don't want to leave. They don't want to do something else because it's a really good lifestyle. It's a good job. They make good money. They're at the center of the industry without being right in front of the cameras and stuff. It's a pretty good setup. So you're trying to take the jobs off of people who don't want to leave. The industry is fairly stable. Gatekeepers are what they are. Just do your own thing.
If it's not for me, why am I speaking up on behalf of other people who don't even feel the need to speak up?
But I think Letty was just like how I've always heard you say you're pro-black, right?
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I can't take that away from anybody being pro their race. I mean, obviously, if it comes with malicious takes, then you can be like, okay, but you're always pro-black. But she said if. Letty wasn't even on the radio at the moment. I think she was speaking, just being proud of her younger brothers that looked like her, maybe come from the same background as her, which is, so was she wrong by saying that? And then you throwing the, she was just being proud of her. Like, if I was this who I would go based off, he's a DJ, he's a personality, and he's somebody that has history and background and all this in music.
But I think the question that they should ask Duno in reply, he doesn't really listen to music, so it's hard to maybe get his gauge on it. But they should maybe ask Duno in a reply, how happy would Duno be if all the people that were commenting on, like, what's a Mexican type rap called? Is it La Raza or whatever the genre is called of Mexican rap or Hispanic rap? Imagine if all the Hispanic rap commentators were black. Would he be okay with that? And there wasn't anyone that looked like him talking about the stuff that he's talking about. Like, imagine they were Haitian or something. Or imagine if they were Guatemalan or Nicaraguan black dudes speaking about that sort of culture and it wasn't them. You know, like, you know, that again, I don't really care about this sort of stuff. This race play identity stuff is fucking lame, but the question is valid, and it's a good one to kind of dig into and kind of maybe, you know, investigate a bit more, but maybe the answers will be a little bit uncomfortable for some people.
She's not wrong for wanting who she wants to see up there in that hypothetical.
Yeah.
Just like I don't feel like I was wrong for wanting to see more black people working on the radio or having media
Yo, big up Young God Vibes. Isn't a podcast more lucrative than being on a radio? Yeah, but I think we're mistaking these guys. I don't think they're in it for I don't think it's about money. I think it's about like status and position and shit, and being seen as like, because I think a lot of people still see non-traditional forms of media outside of the establishment as like an alternative thing, as like an indie thing, as like an outsider thing. You're not really involved. And it's obviously hard, way harder to build your own platform. It's way harder to create the next No Jumper than it is to work for Power 106. But if you immediately work for Power 106, you immediately get the cachet. You immediately get all the kudos, all the cool points, all the history of Power 106 that you didn't help build immediately falls on you. So you can walk into certain rooms, you can have certain conversations, you're spoken about in a certain way just because you happen to work somewhere. So I think a lot of these guys like that. It's cachet. So it's not really about the money. It's about the, you know, oh yeah, I work for Apple, or I work for Sirius XM, or I work for Breakfast Club, iHeart. That sort of stuff comes with something, especially in the music industry, I'm assuming. And a lot of these guys, it's just, you know, it's just harder to create your own platform. So they'd rather get the regular job because the job does come with lots of benefits. I don't personally agree with it. I'd rather do my own thing, especially if I had a very opinionated, or I had a very particular view on what the, you know, sound should be like, or I had a very opinionated view on just music in general, or I was trying to, you know, build something and help people grow and whatever it may be. I just think the autonomy of doing your own thing is far better than having the comfortability or the stability of having that sort of job in the industry. But it depends on what you want in it.
representation on the LA market.
Yeah, but I don't think it's wrong that you said, like, I think when you said black people, you made it a race thing instead of saying, oh, why not a Gina Views? Why not bring DJ Head and them on their show? You didn't say specific name, you said black people. So now you're making, I know, but now you're making it a black and Mexican thing. Because she obviously brought up 3 Latinos that she believes were making a name for themselves.
Obviously.
Yeah.
See how she obviously brought up 3, so I said the obvious, hire some black ones. So just because she didn't use the word Hispanic and I used the word black, doesn't mean I made it a racial thing. If you say you would like to hire 3 Hispanic people, and I say, well, what about some black? Are there any black DJs or personalities that would?
Did you ever get that big boy out like that for running the radio for 20 plus years?
I have definitely made posts about Big Boy back in 2019, 2020. But again, in hindsight, I could have just minded my business. I would be further off. My business would be better off if I. Why did I care so much for people that?
You care so much because you want the job. You're not doing this. He thinks he's fucking Jesus. He thinks he's fucking, you know, the most selfless man in the world. He was obviously ranting about the industry and positions and representation and acknowledgement and diversity and, you know, whatever, because he felt like he was being overlooked. Dejon Paul felt like he should be considered in these conversations. He should be seen as somebody that people should go to for certain hot takes, whatever it may be. Just admit that you want the job as well. It's not a bad thing to have ambition. It's not a bad thing to have, I wouldn't say jealousy, but to have a little bit of envy maybe for the position somebody has that you feel like you should maybe have, and then obviously work hard to try and get it yourself. But he's lying to himself if he doesn't think that's why he was angry back at 2019. Maybe he's in a better situation now in 2024. Maybe his own platform's busting to a point where he doesn't need those things anymore. But that's why he was pissed off. Just admit it, bro.
Turned around and disrespected me.
And
why? So I have to look at that. That's just how I am. Accountability part of it.
Right.
that goes back to like me and your first.
Exactly, Warren. But that's the thing, Warren. Warren's right. Sexy jobs like working in a popular radio station usually don't pay well. Yes, exactly. I'm a proponent of sexy jobs. I've always had sexy jobs. Social media manager, marketing manager, community manager. All these things are fucking sexy jobs. But rarely, if ever, in those 3 positions did I get paid over like 40 grand. Ever. Never. It never was the case. So you're doing a lot of work. You're doing shitty work. You're not really contributing to anything really in the grand scheme of things, and you're not getting paid that well. But at least you have the cachet of like holding a fucking MacBook Air under your arm. You get to swan in at a certain time. You take meetings at co-working spaces. Blah 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 blah. But obviously in the record industry, I think it's a bit different. I think even if you're getting paid terribly working for iHeart, what iHeart comes with is a lot. You know what I mean? You get invited to like BET Awards by default because you work for iHeart. You might get to cover the Grammys, Golden Globes. You get albums, you know, basically sent beforehand. You get probably tickets. You get to access all these people that you would looked up to in the music industry, managers, agents, you know, executive producers, DJs, rappers, artists, whatever. So even though the money's low, they get you because when you work there, it comes with something. Personally, I wouldn't want to do it. I'd want to make my own path and put people on. And you know, if I wanted to get into music, I'd probably want to do what Adam 22 did originally with No Jumper, or what these kids are doing now with Montreality, what they're doing with Our Generation Next and stuff, and just build up the next stars and stuff and give them a platform to kind of, you know, put their fucking talent on display. But I understand why people do hold up, you know, corporate jobs, especially in this industry, on the pedestal, because it does come with a lot of fucking, you know, with a lot of things.
Counter, right? So I never forget, you was talking about Chess Records and you wanted to do stuff the black way. Yeah. And how is your viewpoint now? Because, you know, once you went to the other platform, I was like, we was all super shocked. I'm like, damn, this nigga, he's saying all this pro-black shit. He would never do this and call us employees and then go be an employee. We were like, nigga, this shit is crazy.
But I was employed at white-owned companies before I ever met you. I worked at a company called Ear Milk, where I was the first one to write about many LA rappers, including Blue Bus Clan, AZ Chike.
I remember
like
Ear
that. That's a
Milk.
white-owned platform. So I was an employee for a white-owned company.
What happened to Ear Milk? Long live Ear Milk, man. Ear Milk was really good. I think, was the other one, Two Dot Boys? There's quite a few hip-hop platforms out there, independent, music platforms that kind of disappeared, innit? What happened to Ear Milk?
Before I ever met you, one day I would like to be the president of Def Jam. That would make me an employee at a white-owned company. Any A&R at a major label is an employee at a white-owned company. So I never said there was nothing wrong with it. I just said what it was. And that's what we discussed in the second interview, where it's like, he was like, well, technically I was an employee. Technically you were. Just like when 100%. I worked there, I was an employee. They used to call me employee in a month, thinking it was going to offend me. And I'm like, shoot, that's a compliment. There's nothing wrong with being employed. The stereotype is that we unemployed, sitting at home on the couch, playing video games.
He's being facetious. He knows what they're talking about. He was really making it seem like those guys were bozos who were working for Adam. Then you went to go work for them. Just take the L. Just accept it. Yeah, I know. I spoke out. I spoke too soon. And look at me now.
All day.
So what was the breaking point for you? You know what I'm saying? And then looking at it and looking back and saying, you know what, I was wrong. You feel me, for coming here, wrong. And these guys were actually right. I should have, you know what I'm saying? I should have followed in the footsteps of these guys. Like, what? At what point did you know you?
I just regret ever taking the job offer because I was offered the job. When I got the email from Miss Laura offering me the job, I should have ignored it. No disrespect to Miss Laura, but I should have ignored it. Or I should have replied back no. In hindsight, and there was always that gut feeling there every day, like, nah, you're not supposed to be here. That gut feeling, but I was ignoring it because, like I said, it was so many black media people. I have videos of them on IG Live. Like, I'm gonna put a day and lay out of business. I'm gonna get into covering music just to put a day and lay out of business, and those type of things. When you keep getting that, and then every time I post a music opinion, it's black people calling me out my name and calling me slurs and XYZ. You feel me? It's my interactions, my negative interactions for the most part are with other black people. So it's like, at this point, I tried it your way as far as not looking at race, and just that's my attempt at going in. Like, I'm gonna put race aside, and I'm gonna just go do my job and try to bring hip hop back to this platform.
And move your platform forward as well too. Because I say, and move your platform as well too. It was beneficial for you.
Yeah. I have, I have my rap report cards up there all the time. But even on my first day, I'll never forget. My first day was me, Brick Baby, and Flacco in the No Jumper newsroom. What did I come up there with? 50 greatest LA rappers of all time list. You feel me? Because it was like August 2023, so that's like the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So I'm like, I'm leading with music conversation, hip hop conversation. I'm not up here to talk about
drama and shit,
and all the gossip and shit. I'm really up here. I'm not perfect, but I'm really up here to talk about music and to bring hip hop back to the platform. I attempted to do it, but like I said, there was always that gut feeling.
But you think once you started working there, your content became a little polluted with drama and shit like that?
Just by default, just by being in the
association.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to escape it, because I can sit here and talk about somebody's album who just dropped, and everybody else like, oh, well, I didn't listen to it, but let's talk about this. Yeah, and it's not my room to control like cut the camera or XYZ or control the conversation like that. It's not my
It was going to get watered down because you led with the racial conversation, and then
You're talking about drama. These guys, all they do is drama, and they're like turning their nose up at the no jumper drama. These guys do the same thing too. Since they've left no jumper, all they do is talk about no jumper beef. Adam this, that, Flocko this, Sharp this. It's always beef. No one checks Fig Community World or their channels unless they're beefing with no jumper or beefing with some other op. That's all it is. It's all drama. No one goes to these guys for like good interviews or for like insights on new albums or reviews of like live shows or whatever. It's always the same shit. Drama. If it's not infighting between them, it's fighting with the other ops. So, you know, miss me with all this fucking, you know, trying to act like they're on some fucking high horse. Like, allow it. Big up Austin Casey. Wagwan.
Does FMW stand for fuck my wife? That must be Adam 16's company? Smiley face.
No, it stands for Fig Community World, but that is a good one. Fuck my wife is definitely a good one. Fuck my wife is definitely a fucking good one. I could see myself wearing that shirt in Berghain somewhere. Or I could see maybe Kanye wearing that shirt, actually. Maybe Kanye would wear that shirt. Maybe Kanye would wear that shirt, have FMW at the front, and then have Beat My Big Black Dick at the back, right? Beat My Big Black Dick. So BMBBC. Maybe that should be the right at the back. But yeah, big up Austin Casey. Appreciate it, brother.
you know, and then right behind it, you leading with music and who's the greatest musicians, the greatest 50 rappers. And then right after that, you got a platform that's not known for their hip hop. I don't care about their hip hop opinion. I don't give a fuck. So then you have your report card up there. So it's going to be automatically diluted. Soon as you brought it up and brought that shit up there, and then, you know, after all of the racial shit that you said, I mean, because we will interpret it as racial shit. You know what I mean? And we'll interpret it as that because that's what you led with. And it was just like, why can't black people do this? Why can't black people do this? Are you up here with the white men?
Not to cut you off, but to say I led with racial, when I came up there in January 2022, I had a rap report card that wasn't about race. It was just that. You asked me about...
before the rap report card, we were leading with the radio. You know what I'm saying?
That's Twitter.
You know what I'm saying? But still, even whatever.
I didn't have a product. That's not a product.
But
the product was
but we were
report
knowing, but you came up there for
rap report card.
The rap report card and the controversial things that you were saying, which was sometimes leading with the racial conversation, black and Mexican on the radio.
I would like to see more black. I used to say I would like to see more black people on the radio, more black media representation. I still feel that way, but that's not my number one objective when I wake up in the morning.
But and even right now, you said you would go up there with the rap report card. And you said it wasn't your room. You were working.
Yeah, I worked there. I was in the
That's how radio is, dog. It's not our room to control. So as much as we want to interpret about, you went up there and you had a goal, right? Let me talk about this rapper, this rapper, this rapper, this rapper. Right. When we got the job, I remember the first 3 people we brought up there. I think we brought Rucci up there and all that, and we did that by fighting for that. We let the them just have Problem up there, and obviously Problem's the legend, right? Problem's these enders. But what I'm saying, when I worked there, our goal was definitely bring it back to LA. Yes, don't get me wrong, 100%. We brought in a lot of Latino based things, right? But we definitely, for somebody that I don't know anybody. I mean, the way you love LA rap, I can never take that from you. There's only 3 more people I think love LA rap like you, and that's Vic, maybe Gina, and a couple other people. You might not see eye to eye, but I think you guys' level of love for LA rap, but there's different ways, different takes, different ways to go about it. You guys all love LA rap. So what you just said right now about No Jumper, when you went up there and you had a goal, when we got the job and we got offered and we had all this contracts and all this money lined up, this is how much you're gonna get paid, this is gonna be your salary. As much as we pushed and fought for a lot of different things, we definitely, in the end of the day, it wasn't our room to where we wanted to play the new Doggy Bone. Shout out Rucci, I love Rucci to death. We couldn't do that because it wasn't our room when it came to...
That's fair, but it's also just a weird expectation people have with people, right? Because somebody looks like you and gets a big corporate job, you almost think they have to fight for your entire race. That's not the case. If anything, the fact that they got the job is proof enough that your voice, what you represent, who you're about is needed and is valued, and you have, you know, what it takes to make it in those spaces. But then it's like a symbiotic relationship. Whatever somebody's doing on like commercial mainstream radio, someone should be doing their own version on the underground. Like, I don't know. There's just too much crying and complaining. Like, radio's never going to represent the artists that you want, never going to push underground stuff, never going to put people on. It's only going to shine or speak about you when you're on and you're kind of like doing bits and bobs. So what is with this, like, all this drama around all this shit? Like, I don't know. Maybe this explains why the music industry is in the East Coast, not on the West Coast. There's a lot of complaining. There's not a lot of doing, you know? There's not a lot of actually doing and actually putting your money where your mouth is and actually trying to create, you know, your own version of like a popping music platform where you can talk about the music that you love. You can put on the artists that you fucking rock with, the ones that you feel like represent where you're from the best, and kind of spread them, you know, around the world. Why don't you do it yourself? And then obviously work with the radio stations hand in hand. So then it's like a graduation. They come on your platform. Then when they blow up, you're going to be proud when they go on big radio stations. But anyway, what do I know? Big up, what's in Casey?
Didn't No Jumper get really popular because they always interviewed rappers and had different people on? So why don't these guys do that instead of just gossiping with each other?
I just said the same thing. Exactly, Austin Casey. Exactly. And you know why they don't do it? Because it's hard. Because it's difficult. And because it's not as rewarding or not as gratifying instantly as talking about drama. Talking about drama and beef and stuff and gossiping and fighting each other is way more profitable. The numbers are probably there. I haven't done the science, but I'm sure if you bust down the numbers and you compare clips from Fig Community World, Back on Fig, Community, Ace Boys, and you compare when they're talking about drama and when they're talking about music, or when they're talking about culture, or when they're talking about whatever, I bet you the views pale in comparison. The drama stuff probably outstrips all the music talk by like, you know, tenfold. That's the issue that they're having at the moment. They need to just figure that out, but you know, they're just pointing the finger at radio state, like everyone's fault, but their own fault for doing for whatever's happening at the moment. It's fucking bizarre. Big up Austin Casey.
Controlling certain shit. Right. So I think that's and you didn't learn that, and I'm not saying you probably learned that before your other job, but you didn't learn that till you went to a platform
and work
for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Experience the best teacher.
Yeah, 100%.
At the same time, again, like I said, in hindsight, I just should have minded my business. That's all I could really say. I should have minded my business.
I would say
Why
this
did
too.
I get in?
I still don't think it's a bad thing he worked for No Jumper. I think it's obviously funny because he was taking a piss out of these guys for working there and calling them employees and basically saying they're not black because they're letting a black man run them. The whole Dame Dash thing, right, about never working for a white man's fucking stupid. But it's not a bad thing working there. He worked there, and more people, like, I didn't know who Dejon was before working at No Jumper. I know I'm a nobody, but still, in the grand scheme of things, I had no idea who Dejon Paul was before he got on No Jumper. So the No Jumper thing was a good thing for his profile. So it's not that big of a deal. I think he's just trying to make the guys in the room happy, but it wasn't that big of a mistake, you know, to be honest.
Involved in that, it didn't benefit me in any way.
I would say, like, you were looking at things from a fan standpoint, talking like a fan. And once you got into buildings and seen this industry, you like, okay, because a lot of people, you know, as artists and shit, you would look and say, damn, they're not supporting this, they're not supporting this, they're not supporting this. But when you really get behind there and you see it's a whole business that's being ran, it's like these people are not really dictating what's being played.
It's a popularity contest. It's okay if radio stations only want to play the people who get the most numbers or the most commercially viable. That's not an issue. It really isn't. The main issue is I don't know, having other people doing their own things as well and promoting the stuff that they want to promote. Like, maybe there's not enough platforms out there actually pushing some of the underground acts. Maybe that's the main issue. Or maybe the platforms that do exist aren't good enough, aren't doing a good enough job at actually competing with these big radio stations. But I don't think it's a problem that big radio stations are commercial, because that's the whole point of a radio station. It's meant to be mainstream commercial music. If they want to cover some fucking underground shit, cool. But the main purpose of it is to like appease like the majority of like the regular people. It's like, come on, man, what is this conversation?
Getting interviewed and what's going on too. So like that's why I feel like the way you would come at Charisma or the way you would come at Head, it was like they just doing their jobs in their spare time. Right. They are doing what they have to do to push the culture forward, like playing certain music that they don't have to play and shit like that.
Well, it's a difference between again, I wasn't always on the offense in all these situations, but these are incidents that happened years ago. We don't have to get into it. But I wasn't always on the offense with these situations. There would be time where I would simply tweet my opinion on my account about, I would like to see more black people on the radio. And there would be black DJs saying, you're wrong. Like, no, that's not the case. That's not what we need to do. And I have those screenshots, and I can post those screenshots if I need to.
Do you feel like you can reconcile some of those relationships now? Because I feel like the way the media is going now, the way it's moving in a direction to where everybody is independent, and that independency is leading to bigger deals and more eyes put on you. Even walking down BET red carpets or whatnot. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel like you can reconcile some of that? Because I feel like you should. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you should go out there and do that shit because you are. You do speak, you articulate yourself very well. You're very knowledgeable on what's going on. You have something that's great, though, but you can't do this shit by yourself, though. You know what I mean? You can't do this shit by yourself. You can't be out here by yourself and you was at a platform.
Isn't this the guy that tells everyone to suck his dick and throws fucking tantrums when people piss him off? He's talking about reconciling and being a team player and like, what? This is coming from Tyrell, of all people. The crash out fucking king.
Platform, I feel like that wasn't helping you to do exactly what you wanted to do.
I think it's a simple conversation. With you, a lot of people, they intimidated by you, bro, because you very like.
How so?
You like you lead with like.
So you're argumentative, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, you're not. It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
I respect what you be saying. I get it. You know what I mean? But that is very intimidating to a lot of people because a lot of people walk on eggshells in this business and they don't want to be seen reposting what you're saying, even though they might be talking about it in the rooms.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're very outspoken, so they intimidated by niggas like that. Like, hey, hold on, nigga, you fucking it up for us. So they try to shun you. I get it. You know what I mean? But that's what you're doing to your report card. Like, for somebody to come out and make grades about all these artists, you see, you got all these niggas that's way bigger than you, probably don't know you, and you getting attention from these niggas. Like, who the fuck is he? Who the fuck is he? Like, that lets you know.
Service purpose.
What your card is saying might be true. You know what I mean?
Right.
To a lot of cases. And some shit I agree with you on, some shit I don't.
That's how I go. That's how I go every time.
And I feel like
every time.
I feel like you carved a lane for yourself. Your report card is perfect. I mean, not perfect, but it's a part of the culture now when it comes to LA. Like, people want to get better grades, and I mean, it is pushing people forward to want to do better and get a better grade and shit like that. You know, your approach was a certain type of way. We felt a certain type of way about it. I don't feel the same way that I used to feel about you. Huh?
Why they didn't push you?
He gave me on there. He gave me.
See, that's the bullshit. He gave
me a D in person. No, he gave me a C in person. Then he gave me a D.
No, that's not how that happened.
And see, this my thing. And see, this my thing. What it got?
That's not how that happened.
He hasn't even dropped in 2 years. You should have gave me that as a hey, he bullshit out here. Hold on.
I'm cool.
Go back to my question because he didn't answer. Do you feel like you should reconcile some of those relationships, or do you even want to?
I definitely don't want to. But if you say that I should, I will really consider it. I'm a very understanding person. Yeah. So I will consider it, and I will, think on it. And
no, don't consider reconciling. Just do your own thing. Do your own thing. Push your content. Build up your platform. He's meant to put out some magazine. I'm not sure if that magazine's got done yet. Like, I don't know if he streams a lot. I don't really know if he does a lot of streaming or content. I don't really see his content get posted on Jumper Reddit. I don't see it pop up on the algorithm or anything. So he's probably not doing enough to create a little bit of noise for himself and get people to pay attention. But just do that. Don't need to do anything else. And eventually all those people that were taking the piss out of him will end up coming around trying to suck his dick anyway. That's the way it works. It's standard. You know what I mean? Get your own motion, get your own fucking momentum, have your own fucking buzz, and then all those people who are naysayers will come around and want to start kissing your feet. It's not that big of a deal. And it's also a better way for you to kind of come into the industry, negotiate, or to kind of, run it on your own terms. Case in point, academics. Academics is a pretty, easy to not like person. But he's worked so hard in his area, in his niche, in his field, that no matter what you might think of him as a person, what he's created with his platform is undeniable, and the industry needs him, which is why he's always going to be up. So it's that kind of vibe. Just focus on your own thing and kind of go from there. But I think a lot of these guys are wafflers. They're liars. They clearly want to work in the industry. They're just pissed off that the industry doesn't want to maybe work with them or let them in because, they don't want them to take their jobs and shit. So that's basically part of it. They don't really want to be independent. They don't really want to do their own thing. They're only doing it because they have no other choice, in my personal opinion.
Pray on it and all of that stuff. I don't necessarily want to like that. It's not on my heart. God hasn't put it on my heart to do it. But if you're saying it would be beneficial to at least have the conversation and try, I'm down to try.
I mean, yeah, because you can't preach black excellence and us being together, and then you over here being a fucking renegade off to the side and not wanting to be with us and be together and help push the culture forward.
With the white man.
But when I put my stop that pun,
The white man.
Stop
with
that.
the white man.
Yeah.
White
Stop that.
man.
Yeah. Black.
Yeah.
What you say, nigga? Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot.
Hey man, I came here to hear I told you so. I came here to say I was wrong.
Yeah,
but
see your big ass on this damn.
I ain't gonna do some more bigs. You know right now. Where the muffins at?
Get the homie a muffin stack.
Goodness gracious.
All right, come on. I'm trying to hold it together. Come on. Yeah, I am. Because shit, now you got on cream pants. This is my last joke.
No.
You had on the white ones. Now to make
Switched
this
it up a
cream.
little bit.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. They off white today.
This
All
my
right.
camera?
Yeah.
Right here?
We got two cameras for you, big fella.
Hey, hold on. Ain't that the goddamn pot calling the camera, motherfucker? No, waistline the same. Waistline.
All right. Okay.
I'll consider it though.
Okay, yeah.
You make good points.
For sure.
Are you happy about Heads and Gina's new show?
Oh, I don't keep up with them. Both of them had me blocked, so I couldn't possibly keep up with
Damn.
I couldn't possibly keep. But they
Shout out to them, man.
Is it that bad though? Like, I'm out the loop on what exactly was exchanged between y'all. I saw this shit on those back in the day when I was there.
The same thing that happened is kind of a similar situation with both of them as far as I created like a flyer, even a report card is low-key like a flyer format. I created a flyer or a meme. I posted, head quotes it and said, no, this is not true. The first one I posted was, we need like more black people on the radio. I can show you. I'll show you. 2020, he said, this is incorrect. No, this is incorrect. So that's how that sparked. And then with Gina, when obviously everyone knows this story, when I posted the rap report card, she made a room called Rap Report Card and was hosting it, had rappers in there say they was going to slap me, they was going to kill me. I've been dead by the end of the week, all these things. Then I ignored it, refused to join it. The next day I do my own room for Rap Report Card. She comes and interrupts it and says, oh, this is wrong. You shouldn't be doing this. This is not how we cover music out here on the West Coast. Even if you don't like it, you still supposed to XYZ, that type of stuff. We've had this conversation 1,000 times before. And that's when Mustard came in the room and co-signed and said, no, Gina, you're wrong. Like, if it's not good, he's supposed to tell you he feels it's not good. I'll still repost it, but I'm going to give you my opinion on it. Because I feel like I'm doing you an injustice by not telling you how I feel about it. Same way Double XL Magazine or Source Magazine, there'll be an ad for an album in the magazine, but also if you flip to the review section, they let you know how they feel about it. That's what journalists do, in my opinion. So with both of them, who both had me blocked, it was just I post something, they respond to it in a way I don't appreciate, and it goes from there.
Obviously you're not blind. So when it comes to the whole shit going on with Kendrick and Drake and other people outside of Los Angeles and the West Coast taking Head's opinion and making it like the opinion that this is what represents the West Coast. Do you agree with all those platforms making Head like the head of like the opinion when it comes to West Coast rapping? What's going on with the beef?
I'm happy that he's finally stepping up and being the Coast Guard, because I didn't feel like he was doing that for years. I felt like he was letting mediocrity and artists put out BS, and he wasn't fighting for key critical issues. So I'm glad that he's finally on his job. I'm happy to say that. And I know that by the time I'm 40 or at his age, I'll be doing great things like that as well. Respectfully. Respectfully.
Hey, so look, let me ask you a question. So you felt Head wasn't telling artists that they had bullshit records, basically.
I felt like not just him,
because he was co-signing a lot of records.
I don't want to single out just him. It was a regime of LA media that was just West Coast champion bullshit and not critiquing it, not saying the honest part about it, not giving any real retort to the music, just promoting it. And we're not just record promoters, we're media people.
What if why is that a problem? Why can't they do that? Why can't they be the cheerleaders? Why can't they be the backup dancers? Why can't they be the pom-pom girls? Why can't they be Mr. Positivity, Madam Positivity, and you be the critical person? Why do they have to approach it the same way you're approaching it? I don't understand this way of thinking. I understand it's annoying when you live there and you're in the industry or you want to be a part of it. But if they're doing all that cheerleading shit, you do your own shit. Why do they need to do what you want them to? Why did they need to do what you want them to do?
have to talk about the music and
What
articulate.
years you talking about with Head? Like,
Yeah, because
I don't want to.
Head is very critical on
No jumper equals Digmunity World.
Community world. Oh man, I don't like. Maybe because I'm just like a weirdo type of dude. Or maybe because I just have a low threshold for like pettiness and arguments. But I find this stuff exhausting. I don't know about you guys. It's fun to watch, but I'm just saying, like, for myself, like actually getting into squabbles about everything. Like Dejon's here annoyed that other people that have jobs don't like to say things that he would say if he had that job. It's like, what? Do you get what I mean? Like, why is that? If that's the case, isn't the whole point of being independent so you can do that exact same thing that you're saying that you don't like? Like, I don't understand it. Like, it's almost as if that they enjoyed like the like, I don't know. Big up NJ Ranger. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. It's just I don't know.
music.
I don't want to. Well, maybe in person. I'm talking about publicly. Because when I came out with the program, it was so. Why is it so taboo? If other people are criticizing music, why was it so taboo? It was taboo because no one had in the LA media scene had critiqued music publicly. It was the first time you ever seen someone rank somebody lyricism or rank somebody cadence, rank somebody flow. But who else was doing that?
But I think like you're talking and you're talking about just LA rap scene, right? Mm. So when it comes to,
I would probably say that's something that I've said is an issue overall. I did enjoy. I've always enjoyed Academics more when he reviews music. When he starts talking about albums, I've never enjoyed the first week sales nonsense. I've never enjoyed the constant analysis of lyrics for beef and sub and whatever it may be called. I actually enjoy it when they have like producers on talking about, oh yeah, it took me 2 minutes to make this amazing single. This single came together because this artist texted me this word, and then I was riding the train and I heard the sound, and then I recorded it on my phone. Like, that's actually way more interesting to me as a fan of music, as opposed to like, oh, did this guy fuck your girlfriend or not? Like, I don't really give a fuck about that. Or did you sell 60,000 units first week? Who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? So in media, in music overall, there is a real lack of that type of content. But to be fair, let's also be fair to these people. Is it that these guys aren't talking about the things they should be talking about in music? Or is it the market and the consumers are the ones that dictating? Because we also dictate what these guys talk about. If we gave these guys more views for their music opinions and for their album breakdowns, they might do more of those videos. You know how YouTube works. You know how content works. Whatever gets you the most views, people just double down on it. So maybe the audience, the fan bases, the viewers have a part to play in some of this non-stop drama. We keep giving these motherfuckers views for whenever they bicker, whenever they argue, whenever they slander, whenever they gossip, whenever they fucking harangue each other. But we never give them the same amount of views when they're interviewing an artist, talking about their album, talking about a single, talking about, you know, album artwork, talking about a concert, live show. We never really give them views. So maybe the audience is the one that's baying for the drama. You know, maybe we have to sometimes look ourselves in the mirror, myself included.
I went through your page earlier this morning when I was in bed and shit. Ooh. And there was a gang of bullshit ass rappers on there. A gang. Oh my God, the unsigned shit, it was terrible. Yeah. And I was going and I was wondering about like my boy Peso. He's running raps around half LA rap right now. NLE Costa, and I didn't see him on your page.
I go to my DMs to see if you sent me anything. I'll go to my email and see if you sent me anything.
But I think you're a journalist of LA, so I'm assuming you're paying attention when nobody else is, right? That's just how I see journalists.
But people send me music. Artists send me music. Higher level artists send me music.
Yeah, so. And then I kept looking, and Bravo wasn't on there either.
Bravo was on my 2023 LA freshman cover presented by Shockaware.
Yeah. And that was last year.
And also he was on my New Music Fridays post maybe about a week ago.
Was it a week ago?
About a week ago, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I was looking for Peso, and then I went to your report card, which was the first one you did was 2023 or 2022.
2022 was the first one I did.
Was Suede on there?
Money Side Sway?
Yeah.
I don't believe he was.
He wasn't, even though he had LA on lock?
Are you saying that he should have been on
Yeah,
there?
I'm saying, and then I went to your IE one, and also didn't see a Latino J.I. Bands, which he's one of the top.
There's Hispanic artists on my report card.
Who? Other than Bravo and OGZ.
There's Lefty Gunplay on my report card.
That was recent. That's recent. I'm talking about before.
You asked me.
No, I'm talking about before. Before 2022, 2023.
Okay, so OG.
Is Dejon trying to call Dejon racist because he doesn't cover Latino? Oh man, this conversation is just like, it's myopic, it's fucking granular. It's not even granular, it's fucking just nonsense, isn't it? Like, is this what we need to be talking about now? Now there's beef between the blacks and the browns. Like, fucking hell.
Jeezy is not a
That's one. Yeah, that's one. And
Two Tone Twins are a Hispanic duo.
Okay.
I've graded Hispanic artists, but is there a point that you're trying to make?
Yeah. I'm wondering why you don't cover it the same. You because what's it called? You were getting ahead about being mediocre when it came to LA rap scene and stuff like that.
I didn't say he was being mediocre. I said that he was not. I feel like that regime did not speak their mind about how they felt about the music publicly.
And it was mediocre rappers.
I came out and told these artists that they're being mediocre. Yes.
Okay. And do you tell the artists that you post on your page that they're mediocre?
Yeah, a lot of artists I post on the page will still get an F. A lot of artists that'll be on my
this like almost sense of entitlement. This almost like this attitude. It's really kind of disgusting, isn't it? A little bit icky, isn't it? Like, your music isn't good enough. Like, who are you anyway to tell, like, why should anyone listen to you anyway? Put your opinions out there, but why is he acting as if, like, I mean, like, can you even dance? I don't know about you guys, but if you're gonna be a music journalist, like, can you even dance? Can you two-step? Like, can you actually two-step? Can you catch the beat with your head? Like, do you know what goes into putting a song together? Have you tried to make a song? Have you ever tried to record a music video? Like, what are you talking about? You know, if I was an artist and I was getting, grilled and, judged by fucking Dejon, I'd be kind of annoyed. I'm not going to lie. And he dared to give you an F. An F for what? Because I don't make music that your fat ass can dance to. Come on, man.
My freshman cover will still get an F. Like, my readers might be interested in you, but me personally, I don't like the music.
Yo, big up.
Yes, I too have watched Sons of Anarchy.
Man, this is so fucking stupid, man. No wonder Adam 22 had these guys eating out the palm of his hands, man. Honestly, man. It's so fucking crazy, man. Like, what a good series, though. What a fucking good series. What a good fucking series, man. What a brilliant fucking series. Sons of Anarchy that thing was emotional, wasn't it? Emotional, like, it got you. Like, I don't know how, like, big up, what's his name? Is it something Sutter? What's his name? The writer of that fucking show. Fucking genius writing, man. Genius writing. Like, I wanted to buy a bike. I was obsessed with motorcycles. I wanted a fucking hammerhead. I wanted a chopper, I was obsessed with bikes during that whole entire time. Like, honestly, man. And I remember Googling and trying to find out how I would get into the Hells Angels and then finding out that they don't like black people. I was like, shit. That hurt my heart, man. That hurt my fucking heart when I found out that Hells Angels don't like black people. I was like, no. And I had to join and then I saw the black biker gangs. I don't know about you guys, but especially the American ones, they all look like pimps. Like, why has everyone got like purple and like feathers and shit? So I want to look badass. I don't want to look like I don't want to look like some fucking 80s pimp, you know what I mean? Like, because I want to be in an MC. Do you know what I mean? And I also don't want to be in an all-black MC. Why can't I just be in a normal MC? Why does it have to be all-black? Like, fucking hell. Annoying. Anyway, regardless. Big up, NJ.
But my readers may still, I don't make the magazines or even make my Instagram page for what I like. But when I fill out the report card, I have to fill out to what I'm thinking.
You know what it ultimately is in Los Angeles, too? We just got to learn how to take opinions. We have to learn how to take those opinions, and we need to learn how to respond to them.
Yeah.
Once you
T-Rail tamed this. It's funny, man. T-Rail's the crash out king. He is the fucking Steve Jobs of crash out. He is the Virgil Abloh of crash outs, right? And here he is trying to fucking, give Dejon some life lessons. But fair enough. Maybe he knows because he's been through it. But T-Rail's Definitely somebody that wears his heart on his sleeve, and definitely somebody that always goes with his gut initial instinct of saying, fuck you, fuck your mama, suck my dick. You know what I mean? He loves all that shit. So it's just funny to hear him speaking in such a well-mannered, reasonable, chilled tone, to be honest. He sounds very grown and mature, but, you know, he's not usually like this.
Once somebody has some type of opinion that you don't like, you feel me? Because I could, you know, you falling victim of that too. As soon as you don't like that shit and you feel like it's out of pocket in your opinion, I think people go into left field. I think a lot of people just out here, just in general in Los Angeles, need to learn how to just take the opinion, you know what I'm saying, and
That ain't gonna never happen.
yeah, like you just and do that. I think more so.
That's a good point, but that also explains why the industry doesn't exist there, because people in LA are so emotional. Again, I'm only judging it based on podcasts I listen to and the stuff that I watch online, but LA people are so emotional. I never knew that would be the case, especially gangbangers. Like, aren't you guys from the streets? Aren't you guys from like the hoods? Aren't you guys involved allegedly in organized crime and shit? Like, why are you guys so emotional? Like, why do you guys get your feelings hurt? Like, the No Jumper Reddit. The No Jumper fucking Reddit controls all of these guys. They play them like fucking puppets and shit, bro. Do you know what I mean? If they want them to react a certain way, they just say certain things and they fucking throw them all off completely. It's pretty wild, to be fair. The legit gangbangers who've done some dirt are also the most emotional ones, sensitive ones, especially to random, you know, people online from around the world. Because that's the thing as well. The No Jumper Reddit, it wouldn't surprise me as well. This is really funny. It wouldn't surprise me if the majority of the No Jumper Reddit people who really cause all the drama for these guys don't even live in America. They're all like around the world. You know, I don't know, Singapore, somewhere in Europe, somewhere in Africa, just some kids just like, you know, poking fun and, you know, fucking shaking the fucking hornet's nest. And they have no relation to fucking America, let alone LA anywhere, in any way, shape or form. That would be fucking hilarious if that was true. Some kid in fucking Denmark is just making all these guys shake. It's fucking hilarious.
Better with it.
I think what Duno is trying to get to more so too is just we would like to see a lot of he would like to see, and me too. Right. It's a lot of Hispanic rappers out here. I feel like are moving up in the game, and they should be they should be aligned with what's going on right now, because they are really killing it, and they need their respect. So and a lot of times too, I'm a victim of it too. Just saying, oh, you're the best Mexican rapper, or you're a Mexican rapper, or you good for a Mexican rapper.
Just best
rapper, just a best rapper, or just
more Hispanic rapper.
No, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you haven't covered any.
Right,
but
but
when I look at the report card, and again, we're talking about giving mediocre shit a platform, or not being real with these mediocre rappers. I think that was your thing, right? Like with being more honest with them. And I think when I look at the report card, right? And yeah, don't get me wrong, I've seen the Lefty, I've seen the Bravo. I think you gave Bravo F the last one. I could be wrong. I think you gave Lefty an F. And then you gave Jeezy like a C or something. And I was looking, and then
okay, I see the issue now. I guess the issue, what they're saying is that these Hispanic rappers, these Latino rappers are killing it for the most part. They're the ones who are really doing the numbers, which makes sense, right? Because in LA as well, it's predominantly an Hispanic community anyway. And these guys are Spanish speaking dudes, Spanish speaking artists in general fucking kill it. If you don't speak Spanish, you wouldn't know, but you know, most of those fucking reggaeton artists are fucking smashing it. They make tons of money. They do amazing shows and shit. They run up the streaming numbers. So I guess if you are in LA and you're seeing certain LA rappers being promoted and pushed who couldn't sell 200 tickets, but then you got some Latino rapper who's fucking killing it, but because he speaks Spanish or because he's Latino or whatever, people kind of overlook it. I can see that being a bit of an issue, especially because they're not black, people think, oh, you shouldn't be pushing them in hip-hop circles, blah 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 blah. I can see why that could be a problem. I can understand it, but like I said, I think it's taken away from the main point. The main point should be, hey, let's all create our own platforms where we talk about and platform and push the music and the stuff that we like, and then we push that out to the world and hope the world then sees what LA has to offer, sees the range, sees the breadth, sees the fucking whatever's going on there. That's the most important thing, as opposed to like this infighting on racial lines is fucking R-worded, to be fair. It didn't work when the gangs were involved. It's not going to work now. The industry doesn't like it anyway, so let's just leave it. Do you know what I mean? It's really fucking stupid, especially because it's almost like crabs in a barrel. Does it really matter if a Latino artist is blowing up and not a black one? Because it's all works to help each other. If a Latino rapper blows up, that's gonna only open more doors for everybody else to come through, regardless of their fucking race. So focus on maybe pushing the platforms, establishing the platforms, as opposed to what color skin somebody is. But you know, maybe it's a bit easier said than done, because America's kind of, you know, you guys there just love talking about fucking race. It's just like never ending.
And because you're going based off, what's it called? You go based off numbers or no?
What do you mean? Like
You like
12?
impact?
Impact.
Yeah, does that go with numbers?
Yeah, but OGZ's impact was high. It was like a 10 or a 9 or something like that.
Yeah, no. And I'm not saying specifically them.
Okay.
But when I'm looking through these rappers, and I know you said this plenty of times where you said, this is my report card, you can make your own.
Yeah, obviously. Anytime what happened? Anytime we talk about, even when I used to pull up on y'all and we would talk about the report card, I would tell y'all mine.
This
and
is
I would
yours.
Instantly ask you for your grade, like your score.
But when you're making the main one, and I think from a Latino perspective, right, and not even Mexican, because the Two-Tone Twins, are they Mexican or they're like Puerto Rican or something?
Two-Tone Twins?
Yeah, they're Mexican.
Hispanic.
They're Hispanic, but that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So I don't want to say just Mexican.
Oh, okay.
All these rappers.
Oh my god! So it's now an issue that they're like they have to be a certain type. Exactly. Look at Dejon's face. So he can't win if he covers Hispanic or Latino artists. They have to be from Mexico. They can't be Puerto Rican. They can't be Dominican. They can't be Guatemalan. They can't be Nicaraguan. Like this whole different. Like what the fuck is this whole beef, man? Honestly, LA is such a complicated and nuanced and just, oh my god, can you see his dick from there? Can you see Duno's little fucking chili con carne here? Can you see his little carne asada from there? Can you see it? Can you see his little carne asada from there? I'm not sure. But LA is a weird place, bro. LA is a fucking complex, weird place to kind of work in, because God almighty, how exhausting is this?
Could be Mexican, like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I'm looking at it from a
Big up Warren Kerner. Isn't the whole concept of a report card kind of lame? Yeah, maybe. But I think it's a good branding thing. It is kind of lame. I know what you mean. But for him, it's a good branding thing to kind of put your name out there as the person that has, you know, a particular point of view in terms of artist development, artist presentation, quality of music, and just to be a critic. Sorry, it's a good way to kind of brand yourself. Like, I'm the rap report card dude, because it means you know, you care about the music, you're analyzing everything, like he's saying, cadence, flow, records, you know, marketability, albums, whatever, presentation, all that stuff is included. So it's a good way to brand himself. I gotta be honest. I do like the way. I think the whole thing is lame itself, the card with it being like handwritten and aged, kind of fake age thing that he has going on. But in terms of a branding thing, it worked incredibly well. You know what I mean? People are listening to him. He's well regarded in some way. He's somewhat established. Like the rap record card did a job for him.
If it looks like it's a pick and choose situation, because I see some of these rappers and I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Right.
Who the fuck is that guy?
It's people that say that about most of the artists.
Yeah,
like, anytime, even when I post regular memes, they like, who are these artists? It's people in my personal, like friends and family, like, why do you keep posting these people that we don't? Why do you care about these rappers?
Yeah, I know.
Let me ask you a question.
Most people don't know.
Go ahead.
Regardless
All
of
right,
race.
we all know, you know what I mean, it's not the message sometimes, it's the messenger. You know what I mean? So if he was to make an all-Latino report card, would it be perceived and respected by the Hispanic community?
I'm not asking him to make all Latino report cards.
If he wants to do that, would it be respected?
Would it matter?
Would it be respected by y'all?
Would it be respected? If I can't answer that because I'm not a rapper.
So I'm saying, like, if you saw him,
like if I saw it, would I be like, oh, this is cool? Maybe, yeah. Maybe I'll be like, oh, okay, maybe he's right about, because I'm full. As much as I don't like a lot of your takes, I can't take away some of the opinions you have. I'm glad you gave Blueface F. They be hyping shit up.
That was last year. He didn't this shit.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can't knock fool. I can't knock. Like I said, it's a lot of things I don't like that you said, that you push, which is cool for where a lot of have our opinions. A lot of people don't like that these fools let me up here say nigga. People might be mad at them. A lot of people might not like how we get along and call each other bitch and all types of shit. So a lot of things people might not like. And we don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. But when I'm looking at the report card and I'm seeing an artist that I'll look him up.
That is an interesting thing to say, innit? He's got an issue with Duno. So Duno's got an issue with Dejon's lack of representation or highlighting of certain Latino, Hispanic rappers. Specifically Mexican ones. That's basically his main problem. You don't have enough Mexican rappers who are killing it on the rap report card, because he probably thinks these Mexican artists are probably doing way better than any of these black hip-hop artists that want to get attention who aren't on big labels. But then on the other side, he's also the very Mexican looking guy who also says nigger all the time. So that's okay for you to say, but then you're also okay with chastising a black man about his opinion on hip-hop, when technically people would say you're a guest in that community. Isn't that interesting? Again, I don't care about this sort of stuff. I think racial differences, especially with music and stuff, is nonsensical. It shouldn't be about that. Music should be, by its very definition, colorless. It should be about bringing people together. It should be about self-expression. It should be about storytelling. It should be about turning up, whatever it may be. But if you're gonna go down those racial lines, you're saying nigger and then you're also chastising. Let's like, what? Whatever.
And they have like 1,000 followers, and they drop one album and you've graded them off that, and then I'm looking at like a Peso or a Suede that are selling out the Novos, touring, got songs with LL Choppa and all these things. It does make me question.
My report card says long live or rest in peace Suede at the bottom. Right?
No,
I don't grade deceased.
No. What I'm saying before he was deceased. I'm saying before he was deceased.
That was on the first one.
Yeah, and I'm saying when I'm looking.
Well, come on, but wasn't Moneybagg Suede, like, RIP to him, RIP to Moneybagg Suede, but didn't he die like at 22? Wasn't he super young? So Dejon's meant to know like every fucking popping artist in LA that's coming up. There's too many people out there, man. Like, how you gonna have your eye on fucking everybody? He didn't really have that much time to really shine and get his name out there anyway. Then he got locked up, he got wrangled in legal trouble, unfortunately, and then of course he met his untimely end. But that's not fair, man. That's not fair. Moneybagg Suede wasn't around long enough, really, to be fair. To you know what I mean? Like, come on, let's be fair.
Looking at it,
right.
Like, was Peso on your recent one now?
I don't believe so. No.
Was there a reason for that, or
Who's he talking about? Peso Plumo, or is it's another Peso? If it's Peso Plumo, that kid's like a fucking mainstream artist, isn't he?
It wasn't intentional.
It wasn't intentional.
It was 56 LA rappers graded. Who else sat down and listened to 56 LA rappers? I can't get some people to listen to 5 LA rappers. I sat down and listened to 56 LA rappers' music for over a course of maybe 2 months, because I normally do it over the holiday season.
But
if he's talking about Peso Pluma, this makes no sense. So you want him to know about fucking Moneybagg or Moneyside Suede, right? But then you also want him to have review Peso Pluma in his report card. A guy that performed at fucking Coachella.
But you're also a content person. You make content. You know what gets people riled up. When you're making a report card, you're like, damn, Peso, 18 years old, 19 years old, got a song with LL Choppa, has millions of views in the last 2 weeks on his own. He's killing it. He's running. If we're talking about running laps, he's doing all these things right now. Do you sit there and go like
Peso payroll or something, nigga?
No, I can't be pro Latino. I can't be pro Latino.
Hold on. No. This is what I was gonna say. The way that you're talking right now is damn near mirroring what Dejon is saying.
No.
Oh, it's another rapper. It's called Peso. Okay, it's not Peso Pluma. There's another rapper called Peso.
I'm not. What do you mean?
He's saying like, oh, if he's looking at the radio, he wants more black people on there and more coverage and stuff like that. And you saying basically the same thing.
No, so what he's actually,
okay, so
hold on, let me get to really what you said, so we get to the fucking elephant in the room. Yeah, you I get what niggas on here, and these Mexican niggas is booming. Why the fuck you ain't put these niggas on there?
Or more coverage.
But there are certain Hispanic.
But
he also just said based on who sends him music. That's what he said.
I get it.
If you want to be on a
but I think if you're covering any rap, cover it all, right?
Yeah, cover it all, do it up. I get you.
Absolutely, it's a lot of artists.
Because then too,
I left Earl's sweatshirt off and I issued him a public apology. Like, I fucked up. He had a great project last year, and I still left him off just because I'm human.
Yeah.
Make mistakes.
Every
year there's gonna be artists that's left off every year. But I promise you this, I will do a better job.
I'm not a fool.
And including Hispanic artists.
No, I'm not knocking it. But now you see the argument people have when you argue?
Now you see the argument that people have when I
No, I don't care.
Or moving forward, you could just simply send him artists to look at in the DM, like, hey,
I
make
ain't
sure
sending nobody no artists.
Well, goddamn.
You the one that said you don't care about music. And then you said you can talk about it.
I'm just here to argue.
man, for the sake of it, y'all are crazy.
I mean, we do shit like that.
Just argue for the sake of it.
Hey, Pun, what I sound like today?
I mean, you came from over there, nigga.
Hey, Pun,
You baby T-Real today.
Hey, Pun, who do I sound like?
And he's just lingering it on. So I'm like, man, shut the fuck up.
Hey,
Trying to get his
Peso payroll is crazy.
I was like, y'all sound exactly the same. Y'all mirror each other.
I'm
I'm
gonna break that nigga as soon as I get in the car. We ain't listening to nothing but Peso.
But now how it feels.
You was pushing the line.
All right, so let's address the elephant in the room
love
there,
you, Peso.
because
You love
it was a lot
Finally.
going on with you. It's a lot of people.
So we finally get into the main crux of the point of this particular pod, which is to discuss this alleged shooting that took place at No Jumper that involved the one and only Dejon Paul. Allegedly, something happened in No Jumper HQ where the security guard, the master security guard, the one that's dressed up like he's fucking in the SWAT or whatever, with these fucking shiesty on and shit and gloves and tactical vests and shit, he allegedly was fucking around in the office and his gun went off accidentally, and allegedly they're saying the ricochet, the bullet precisely, whatever, something happened, shrapnel, whatever, something happened where it hit Duno. So it hit Dejon. Dejon, upon being hit, allegedly pulled his pants down and started jumping up and down and squealing, and then running out of the step place, and then that is what led eventually to Dejon taking a step away from No Jumper and deciding for his own safety that he should leave that company. And then there was a whole rumor around, oh, is he gonna sue No Jumper and get the bag? Well, Adam kind of contested that account, basically poured cold water on it, said it didn't happen. Whack 100 said it didn't happen. I don't know who else said it didn't happen, but it seemed like a whole lot of rumors. And then eventually Dejon had enough of the rumors, put out a text message thread between him and Adam where it seemed like Adam was at least acknowledging that something happened. He didn't acknowledge exactly what we heard as a rumors, but it definitely was counter what he was saying, that nothing happened, because he was talking as if something did happen and he was almost apologizing for it. After the fact, Adam and Dejon went back and forth on social media. Adam basically saying, hey, you took those text messages out of context. I was talking about some other thing, or I was saying that only because I thought you did get shot. Then obviously I found out you didn't, that you were lying, blah, 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 blah. Because that's the other narrative that Dejon lied about. The whole thing was trying to get a payday out of No Jumper, which is fucking sick, to be fair. But definitely shows that maybe he was 1 foot out already of that place when that fucking shooting happened, and maybe saw an opportune time to make some money. Either way, we're now going to get clarification on what happened. So let's hear from Dejon Paul exactly what occurred at No Jumper that led him to leaving.
People that was denying your claims, and wholeheartedly they know the truth and they know what's going on, and they're telling their side of the story, and your side of the story seems to be false in their eyes.
This is my first time being able to tell it.
And making everybody else say that it's false.
So why can't he say it now? I wonder, what's the deal? Why can Dejon talk about it right now, but he wasn't able to talk about it before? I hope he's got all his business sorted and he's not fucking himself over just for clicks, by the way. So hopefully he knows what he's doing here.
You know, when you came in here, you hopped out of a wheelchair. When I seen you, you had the bandages and all that.
I was here before you. I was here before you. I was here before all y'all. Let's keep it honest.
He put a muffin on the wound.
Don't do that. I got cameras in this.
I was here
He got his wheelchair for the first time.
You was here,
hey, bro, for all of y'all.
You was shot. You know what I'm saying? So take us. You was shot. You was shot. So look,
I would say I was grazed by a bullet.
Okay.
That's shot.
Power of work. That's what people keep saying. They was like, a hit is a hit. If it contacted you,
you got shot.
I say I got grazed by a bullet.
Okay, walk us through that. Walk us through that day, man.
Without saying anybody's name.
I got you. People keep saying, attorneys keep saying a hit is a hit. Everyone keeps saying that to me. Like, if it made contact, it made contact. I believe in the power of words. I'm not inviting that into my life.
Okay.
But I have people that have lost their life. I know people that have lost their life to that.
Ooh, gangster. Whenever people say that sort of stuff, it's so annoying. Oh, I've had friends that went to prison. Oh, bro, that doesn't make you bad because people that got shot. Like, just shut up. Big up Asad Aziz.
Dejon gonna recreate the Breaking Bad scene of the fat guy laying on the money pile after he settles. Rip No Jumper salute to an era.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't got to that bit yet. I think Assad probably has already heard what was said, but I'd be curious to know, did it really? I don't know if I'm believing what happened. I want to find out what happened. I want to judge for myself. I want to hear the words out of Dejon's mouth and see if I can, figure out if what happened was what happened. But big up Assad. If it's true, he's gonna get a good bag. He's gonna get a nice, sizable compensation from it. There's gonna be attorneys and lawyers waiting, queuing to take this case. If this is the case. Especially if what was said was true, that the security guard was a felon and shouldn't be carrying a firearm in the first place. Like, fucking wild. But let's see. Big up Assad. Appreciate you, brother.
So on March 25th, it was a Monday. I went in to do No Jumper News. I believe it was Flacco, Sharp, and myself. We did the news. We walk out. You guys know the building, so I don't have to explain everything. I walk out. I always sit at that conference table. You guys know the table. Right? I always sit right there, eat right there, be on my phone, get some work done. And that's exactly what I was doing. Flacco left. Sharp left. Adam was in his office with the door closed. So there's no other personality. No one else was there. There was no other No Jumper personality that was there who could even speak to the incident. I'm the only personality, sans Adam, who's in his office with the door closed.
What about the CCTV cameras? Don't they have CCTV cameras inside this office space? Why couldn't they have seen what happened with the cameras inside? Or don't they have cameras in there?
That was there at the time. Minding my business at the table and just allow bang, boom, or what have you, goes off, and like the gun went off under the table is what I'm assuming.
So a person was sitting next to you, which was a security guard.
He was at the table.
He was at the
security guard. The security guard.
Yeah, the security guard. Yeah. I mean, he didn't have a gun license.
The security guard.
Did you? Yeah, he doesn't.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at the time.
Oh, but you know that.
Without saying names.
I know that now. I didn't know.
Saying that.
I didn't know that.
Security
I didn't know
guard?
that at the time.
Oh my God!
But you know that now.
But I swear, I didn't know that at the time.
At the time,
I was just sitting there.
That is crazy, though. Adam 22 is fucking insane. All the madness he gets up to in No Jumper, all the instigating, all the shit stirring, all the fucking poking and prodding and shit that he does there, he rightfully does the smart thing and hires armed security to secure, and patrol the No Jumper HQ, especially because he spent so much money on that new office. It's a really nice space, by the way. Smart move to hire somebody to do the security, especially if you're going to get, trappers and rappers and gangsters and whatever, quote unquote, killers on your platform to talk and shit. It's good to have somebody there, work there for security. But then you don't get somebody with a legit license to carry. You don't get somebody that isn't a felon. You don't get somebody that kind of knows what to do, knows their job, knows how to handle guns. Like, why would you cut corners? If you're going to hire somebody, just hire somebody. Fucking hell. Only Adam would do that. Only Adam would have like some random dude that has no license just carrying a gun and dressed up in fucking combat gear, like LARPing as a security guard when he's really just some goon. Fucking hell, man. Now we understand why he fired everybody, right? Now we get it. He needed to fucking save that money to fight that lawsuit. He needed everybody's salaries. He needed those coins to fucking hire a high-powered attorney to basically fight his case, because this is fucking wild.
I look up after the gun goes off and I feel the pain in my thigh, my left thigh.
Did you see him cleaning the gun at that time?
I wasn't paying attention to him. I was on my phone. I knew he was there and I just said, "What's up?" But I wasn't paying attention to what he was doing. I was on my phone handling something.
And then you heard a shot go off.
Heard it, felt it underneath the table, all of that.
Did you call 911 there?
I did not call 911.
So you got up and left and drove to the hospital?
No, Josh took me to the hospital.
Oh, Josh
took me to the hospital. Yes, I was taken to the hospital by Josh.
Wow. So Adam 22 saying it didn't happen, but Josh, his CTO or the CFO, the second in command at No Jumper, is the one that personally drove Dejon to the hospital. Maybe he took him to Brendan's favorite, Cedar Cyanide, all right? Cyanide Cedar. Holy shit. So this thing happened. At least fucking Josh is the fucking witness. Fucking hell, Adam. Oh my God.
That's why the whole theory of me getting up, running, hopping, running out the building, all of that. What do you guys? But again, none of them were there.
To us, Adam.
I didn't drive myself to the hospital. Josh drove me to the hospital and was there in the ER room. The security guard followed us up there against my wishes and sat in the emergency room with us against my wishes. I'm like, I don't apologize profusely, like apologize maybe 1,000 times. And I'm like,
so the security guard apologizes 1,000 times, follows him to the hospital. He's there, another witness of what happened. Just the second in command, a witness. He's a white man. He saw what happened. And Adam's out here putting out fake stories that Dejon was jumping up and down, saying he felt his leg being hot. It's making him sound like he's crazy and shit. Fucking hell. Adam 22 is a diabolical person and a diabolical human being. And now he's going to pay. In the only way he probably knows how to learn. This is the only way that's really going to hurt him, really, to be fair, right? Monetarily, reputational wise. Being known as a fucking liar and then getting absolutely cleaned out by Dejon. Of all people.
I don't really want you here. It wasn't until my father showed up that he respected him enough, I guess, to leave. Even Josh tried to stop him from coming in the hospital because I told him, like, I don't want him here. I saw him walking up. I'm like, that can't be him. Like, why is he here?
Yeah.
So Josh drove me to the hospital. I didn't drive myself to the hospital.
Yeah, we worked there for
I didn't
years.
drive myself back from the hospital.
So being shot, that's what they think. So nothing like really penetrated the skin is why they're saying you weren't actually shot and you can't take legal action to do anything, but you actually can though. So
I was grazed.
Yeah,
I was grazed. I had medical.
And they have a medical report of that.
Correct. I went to Providence Hospital.
So you got grazed and then just drove you to the hospital. It's a bit dramatic, no? I get why he's doing it, get your money, but it's a bit dramatic. The bullet didn't pierce your skin, no blood came out. You got grazed like you fell off a bike.
Grazed the shot, by the way.
Near, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I said with power words, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Providence Hospital is like maybe like five
we know where it's at, yeah.
Right. From the office. I don't want to give out the location, nothing, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So from there, what are you thinking there? Are you saying, you know what, I need to take legal action, or are you texting your ex-employer, you know what I'm saying, your boss, and like where are you at in the headspace?
Well, when I got to the hospital, Adam texted me, and those are the text messages I showed.
Oh, the screenshot text message.
He texted me that while I was at the hospital.
Wow. So Adam is just lying. He said those texts were out of context. It didn't happen. He said those texts were when he thought he actually did. So you knew he got shot. Josh was there. Josh probably told you. Josh was probably on the phone to Adam in the hospital as well. Adam 22 is a bona fide liar, isn't it? Fucking hell.
Talking about let's keep it off the podcast and all that shit. And yeah, I was just focused on making sure. They ran like 4 x-rays on me. I wanted to make sure because they found my coworkers found 2 bullet fragments underneath the table as well as the casing. So if you find bullet fragments, I want to make sure there's no bullet fragment in my thigh. So they ran like 4 x-rays on me when I was at the hospital to make sure that there was nothing lodged into my thigh because there was a graze mark and I just wanted to make sure, but fortunately there wasn't anything lodged in my thigh.
It'll be fine anyway, man. That leg can support a couple bullet wounds, man. You're not losing your leg, bro. That's its own fucking. That's its own bulletproof vest. Look at that. Imagine a bullet hitting his hand might not even hit his fucking leg. Look how fat his hand is. Honestly, a bullet hitting his hand might not even pierce his fucking leg. Just, you know what I mean? It's like, this is natural fucking bulletproof vest over here, bro. All that custard will fucking absorb it.
So was it your decision to leave that platform, or is it a legal decision to where you can't be there anymore?
No, it was definitely my decision. I took no jumper out of my bio. I was asked.
Ooh, he's definitely sassy, isn't it? Instead of saying, yeah, I text Adam and said I'm not coming back, the first thing you say, I took no jumper out of my bio. Look at him. He's definitely sassy, isn't it? You gotta love fucking Dejon.
Come back on several dates. If you give me a moment, I could pull up the actual dates I was asked to come back in April. Listen to your music stream, news, this day, that day, that day. And I'm like, no. I respectfully declined. I felt like I respectfully declined.
Yes. So why do you feel like, a person at his stature, quote unquote, a person that has a hip hop platform, that's supposedly so respected, and a businessman will go take himself on somebody else's podcast and speak about an employee that was grazed and shot at his fucking warehouse.
Okay.
Like, why would you think that man would do that? Like, did you respect that at that point? Because I obviously know you didn't, because you
posted screenshots.
You posted those screenshots.
You said let's keep it off the podcast, but here you are sitting on the podcast talking about it. So now I'm sitting on the podcast talking about it.
Yeah.
Let's keep it off the podcast is what he texted me while I was at the hospital. He also
Adam 22 is a real piece of shit, innit? This guy got shot, quote unquote, at his own office, and instead of worrying about the safety of his fucking employee, the first thing he's worrying about is what people are going to say online about it. Bro, this could sink your company. Why are you worried about what people online may think? This could legitimately end No Jumper. If this goes badly and he ends up taking them for all they're worth, this could end the whole operation. Legit. This could sink the whole company. Why is he worried about what people might say online? Lawyer up, make sure this guy's okay, and then kind of do it that way. Why are you worried about what people might say? Keep it that what? Why is that at the front of your mind right now? Or maybe just offer him some money to keep him quiet. Like, I'm sure there's probably, I have a feeling that there was something said about that. Hey, give me a certain amount of money and I won't take legal action. And Adam probably said no. So now it's going to end up costing him far more than what, Dejon probably proposed, most likely.
Said, we can read you want to read the text message real quick? Give me a second.
Read them, man.
Fucking bummer, dude. I didn't want to never have to.
When he heard the gunshot, heard the gunshot, he came out of his office and was like, what the fuck was that? And everybody was like, so-and-so, the security guard, just fired a shot. We think Dejon's been hit. And he just went right back in his office. That's why his text begins with an apology, does it not? Well, let's read the text. But his text
right back in the office
begins with an apology, and he just closed his door. And I never saw him again that day. Didn't hear from him until I got to the hospital.
Excuse me, repeat that again. Repeat that again. Repeat that again.
It was.
I didn't want to never have to.
When he heard the gunshot, he came out of his office and was like, what the fuck was that? And everybody was like, so-and-so, the security guard, just fired a shot. We think Dejon's been hit. And he just went right back in his office. That's why his text begins with an apology, does it not? Well,
Adam 22, man, he's such a piece of shit, innit? Somebody gets shot in his office and he just closes the fucking door. That is such a representation of just how little shit he gives about anybody apart from himself. He's fucking insane, isn't it? Legitimately insane. Fucking no.
Read the text, but his text
right back in the office
begins with an apology, and he just closed his door, and I never saw him again that day. Didn't hear from him until I got to the hospital.
Go to the hospital?
Josh drove me.
Big up Shades Cow. Call back. You don't hire legit security if you plan to do things that are not. Never a truer word has been said. Facto, Shades Cow. Facto.
To the hospital. Josh brought me lunch to the hospital. So Adam texted me Monday, March 25th. No, at 2:18 p.m. He said, "Hey, dude," and he's referring to him going back into the office. Hey, dude, I'm really sorry about this. I was kind of in shock earlier and didn't know what to say. Again.
Of course, Adam was in shock and didn't know what to say. So the first thing that's what I mean about him being a shitty leader and a shitty boss. An employee gets shot, no matter what it is, if it's a graze, or whatever, a trickle, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, look after your fucking employees. Show some level of concern, some sort of level of attrition, some sort of level of fucking, whatever. Feeling, emotion, whatever it may be, but just concern or care and, whatever, worry for your fucking employees. Nah, I'm gonna just walk back in here and close the fucking door. And then text you my fucking response like a bitch. Like, say something to him face to face, bro. Speak to him. Go and follow. Why didn't he follow him to the hospital? The security guard that accidentally shot the guy felt guilty and followed him to the hospital, even though Dejon didn't want him to be there. Why didn't Adam go to the hospital? Exactly.
Remember, he heard the shot, came out the office, and I guess he was in shock.
So you were there when he came out the office?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're asking.
This is for he's getting
I'm
transported to the
asking him.
hospital.
I'm afraid of your fucking story, bitch. Shut up.
What's wrong with this guy?
Damn.
That's
Why y'all talk to each other like
Dude
that?
don't talk
He's
to
still
T-Rail
mad.
like
He's
that.
still mad. He's still mad.
Yeah, come on.
All right,
Yeah.
so where was I at? Hey, dude, I'm really sorry about this. I was kind of in shock earlier and didn't know what to say. Just know we're on your side and thinking this was super effed up, fucked up, obviously, and we're gonna try. Just know we're on your side.
The way he presses the phone, bro. Fucking hell. He can't even wrap his hands. Can he put his hands together? Look how he touches the phone.
I was kind of in shock earlier and didn't know what to say.
It's like he's struggling to get his hands around. Look at him. He's struggling to what to say. It's just like fucking. He's got little arms.
Just know we're on your side and thinking this was super effed up, fucked up, obviously, and we're gonna try to do everything by the book and make sure you're good and shit. I said I appreciate it. I know it was all an accident. Just want to.
What does that even mean? Make sure you're good and shit. Hey, people say those vague things. We're gonna make sure you're good. What does that mean? You gonna fucking pay me my money or not? You gonna send me a fucking wire transfer of $10,000 or not? Are you gonna buy me a Lamborghini or not? You gonna get me a fucking house in the fucking, Runyon, next to Runyon Canyon, right? Is that what you're gonna do or not? Are you gonna fucking get me a fucking whatever, a G-Wagon, whatever these fucking guys like? Are you gonna get me a whole bus full of fucking bad boys from Atlanta to come and suck my knob or something? What are you actually gonna do for me? We're gonna make sure you're good, dude. Like, no. Give me the account logins for Plug Talk, and give me the login for your Google AdSense. Run that money up.
Get checked out and make sure everything's okay. Crazy day at the office. He said, insane. Let's keep it off the podcast and shit. I assume that means social media and shit, podcast and shit. Keep it off the media. And I don't want people to feel scared. So instantly he's trying to cover it up and conceal it.
Exactly.
And that would make sense because since then they offered me money to come back and act like it never happened and just get back to work and not talk about it and act like it never happened.
How much y'all offer you?
Which I respectfully decline. I won't go into that. Which I
So
respectfully
you was
decline.
offered hush money.
Hush money. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
he was
offered
offered
hush money to come back and act like it never happened and I declined.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, hold on.
So the same breath, in one corner of his mouth, Adam 22 is saying it never happened. He's gaslighting. He's calling Dejon a liar. He's calling him a fraud. He's calling him a scammer, basically. He's calling him essentially a bit of an ambulance chaser. And then on the other side of his mouth, he's offering Dejon a deal and saying, hey, if you come back to the pod and you don't say nothing, we're going to give you all of fucking Hellcat's wages. Right? We're going to give you all of Hellcat's wages if you come back. We're going to give you everything we're meant to give WWE Fame, we're going to give to you. Everything I'm meant to go to P-Nice, we're going to give to you. We're going to give you everyone's full-time wage directly to you. And we're going to have all these guys on freelance fucking 0-hour contracts. Because that's what's basically happened, right? He fired everybody who was working there. And then everybody else, I think, isn't on salary. I don't think so. I think they just work via invoices, I'm assuming. Who knows? But they're not as usual as they were before. They're not working at No Jumper 5 days a week. It's maybe 1 or 2 days a week. Ooh.
I got a question. So once this happened, right?
Yeah.
And I know that you called in and you were saying like you missed everybody and shit. Like
Not
why?
everybody, but I miss the people I do.
But why did you like? If you knew like the seriousness of what was going on, like what made you like live and because I feel like that was the point to where motherfuckers would be like nothing happened because a nigga cool. He called us saying he missed us and shit like
I was asked by
that.
production to call into. I was asked by production to be there. That was one of the days they asked me to be there. You guys know Michael from
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. That was
100%.
the one I was coolest with, had the best relationship with. He hit me and asked me to call into the show, so I called into the show thinking that they're going to talk about it. Once I realized that they weren't talking about it, I hung up
So
the
you
phone.
thought they was alive? They was gonna talk about the shit that
It
happened.
was a Saturday news show at the No Jumper store. And I have the text messages where I was asked to call. I was asked to come there and be on camera, and I declined. Then I was asked to call into. So I'm thinking, okay,
So you felt bamboozled then?
I guess I could, but in hindsight, I should have never worked there. When I got the email from Miss Laura offering me the job, I should have said, hell no.
What made you work there?
What made me work there?
What made you? What was like the thing that sold you? Like, all right, I'm going.
I really felt like I could bring hip hop back to the platform. I felt like
Just say money. A stable income, a good revenue stream. opportunity to get my name out there. This whole like noble hip hop warrior white knight for hip hop culture is dumb. Look, even Duno doesn't believe it. Even Duno thinks he's fucking talking out of his ass. Fool, come on, fool. You're talking out of your ass, fool. You know, even come on, fool. Like even he knows it's not true. Come on, man. Just say you went to No Jumper for the money. You went there for the clout. You went there for the notoriety. You went there to signal boost your own platform. It worked, and obviously it turned out to be a bad mistake, a bad move because now you're in the position that you're in. But all in all, it's probably been a net positive. Still, it's going to be a net positive. He's going to probably cash out at the end of this. If this lawsuit goes the way it should go, with most of these total things, he's going to get a pretty decent, sizable amount of money from this. So, No Jumper's been pretty much a bit of a blessing to him. He had to get shot, but, you know, he's going to cash out. He made a good salary. He increased his fucking clout and his fame. What's there to fucking be complaining about? All you have to do is get shot.
Like it was missing. I felt like it was just gang content after gang content.
Along with who, though? Like, who else you felt was up there respectable that could hold hip-hop conversations with you?
Cooking.
I could really hold hip-hop conversations with anyone.
With who, though?
I do
like,
an LA rap workshop with random people, can't even see their face, and we in there every Sunday morning talking about hip-hop. So
I mean, who you respect? Who hip-hop takes you respect them to? Not just because, they're cool people, but really, I respect that you know hip-hop.
Me personally, like...
Who do you respect? That you felt I could go up there and sit with him?
I enjoyed the debates I would have with Suspect.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Suspect.
I really did enjoy those. To be sitting across from him and having those intense debates, especially when we would have our independent major label debates. Those were some good debates to me. So I would say that.
Lush.
So you would say Suspect was probably the only credible one that you would be up there to be able to really, really break down hip hop.
No, if I play a song, I respect anybody's opinion as far as do you like the song or do you not. But as far as going like in depth with hip hop conversation, if I had to pick somebody, I'd probably say Almighty Suspect. If I had to.
Shout out Almighty.
Man, you wouldn't give it to Flacco?
For music?
Yeah.
No.
Look at this. Look how sassy he's been. Look at his face. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at that sassy side eye. Look at that sassy looking side eye. Look at him. He's so evil, isn't it? He's so fucking evil. He's got the best luck in the world, isn't it? He takes the piss out of AD and those guys for working at No Jumper and being employees. He suddenly then turns and does an about face and basically does the same thing they do and starts working for No Jumper. And he happens to be lucky enough to be the only person in the room with a security guard while his gun goes off by accident. And then that is maybe going to lead to him getting a massive payday that will inevitably give him the funds to fucking launch his own media empire. Pretty decent life, he's got. If he, is able to rummage in his fucking BBL, he probably would find a 3-leaf clover in there. If he was able to fucking get his hand, inside his ass, I don't think he probably can. But if he could get his hand inside of his ass, he will probably find a 3-leaf clover there, mate. That's what he's got, mate. The luck of the Irish.
And he went with Drake.
Radical takes.
He went with Drake over Kendrick.
That's his favorite artist.
I did too.
Yeah, you did too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But get this man some muffins. I want to see more about that. I want to hear more about this money.
Some muffins.
I want to hear more about this fucking money. You finna tell me about how much money he offered you.
You may be off camera, I will, but I'm not.
I mean, on camera they said 10,000. That was on camera. They said 10,000.
That's inaccurate.
You wouldn't take $10,000 or something.
I wouldn't take $10,000.
That's on camera.
But that's inaccurate.
Yeah.
That's an inaccurate figure.
Yeah,
but I would not in real life. I wouldn't.
Yeah, 10,000 is crazy. You're not giving me 10,000. Like 10,000, especially in LA, that's not going too far. I got shot fucking by accident by a fucking convicted felon or by somebody that doesn't have a license to carry in your fucking office at my place of work. You give me $10,000 in LA in 2024 with this big financial crisis going on, with the wars around the world currently going on. Fuck off, mate. 10,000. You better add a couple more zeros to that shit. 10,000.
We ain't got to talk about the money then. When you first heard the news that they were saying like, oh, he's lying and everything like that, how did you personally feel?
That's not my first interaction with it. Really was. I believe it was Wack who was the first person to say on camera. Mm-hmm. He kind of confirmed the situation. He made LGBT jokes and Popeye jokes with it, but everybody was sending me that clip. They're like, hey, this clip was on No Jumper a few minutes ago, but they took it down and they sent me the clip of Wax saying something about my thigh and there's going to be a delay on the report cards. He's in the ICU. LGBT this.
I thought he said Wax said about him that because his thigh is so fat, the bullet delayed in terms of the impact. I thought that was what he meant, as in he got shot, but then he didn't realize until later because it took so long for the bullet to pass through his fleshy thigh, or his fat thigh, or his custard filled thigh, or his Smarties filled thigh, or his donut filled thigh. I thought that's what he meant.
LGBT dad, go to Popeyes and get a thigh. So that was the first time someone spoke about it on the podcast.
Right.
That I saw. Maybe someone spoke about
But
it before.
I'm
That's
smoking.
me.
Wack wasn't there. You said the only person that was there. You said Adam acknowledged that it happened.
Yeah.
So when
But
he
was
first
in
came
the
out,
office with his door closed.
but I'm saying the first time that he act like it didn't happen, how did you personally feel? Because this is the guy that employed you. This is the guy that gave you. You feel me? You looking at it like, oh yeah, he gave me a chance. He fucks with
He
me.
didn't give me no chance. I can acknowledge that it's wrong, but I can also acknowledge that that's kind of like expected. And I should have learned from y'all situation. There's precedence of that type of character. There's worldly precedence of that type of character from that sort of person. So I mean, it's expected. I didn't expect him to come forward and be like, oh, he said, let's keep it off the podcast. I expected him not to talk about it because you just told me, let's keep it off the podcast. I don't want people to feel scared coming to my place of business. Now, what really shocked me was maybe, a day or two later where he canceled the news and canceled all the shows and all of that. I didn't see any of that. After I posted the screenshots, I didn't see all of that happening. But
So now it's all making sense because I didn't want to draw parallels or connections between it. I thought it was just like a minor thing. Bloody yo, look at this, bro. That chair is doing a lot of fucking work, innit? You can't have IKEA in America. I think IKEA in America is a different level to what we have at IKEA in Europe. Some of the fixings that you have, or maybe the IKEAs that you have maybe reinforced fixings. Maybe they have like suspension or something, or maybe they have fucking, pulleys and levers and shit. Because there's no way general IKEA couches that we wear or that we use in Europe could ever sustain these two guys. Look at the fucking weight. Look at that. Look at that flesh just hanging off there at the back. Like this is a lot of fucking tonnage. This is a lot of lbs. Like that's a big dude, bro. And that's not like this is the thing about American fat too, which is different to English fat. I think English fat is like biscuits and shit. American fat is like soul food. It's like stuff that's fried, stuff that's been baked, stuff that's been boiled, right? Stuff that's been fucking, whatever else in between. Like, you guys eat well. So this isn't like a fat dude in Europe where you just filled with like crisp and fucking, biscuits and whatever else. You guys are filled with food, like, food. So that chair is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Or maybe it's just independent brands as well. They do chairs where they're designed for bigger dudes, There's maybe like do you guys have like a big and tall furniture shop in the States? Like a shop that that sells maybe wardrobes where it's a bit more width, so when you can fit your jackets in there if you're a big dude, or a couch where you can sit and like sit down without it breaking and shit. Because if you sit on one of regular sort of like IKEA couch, like I'm looking at myself, that I've got one of these like standard IKEA couches that's like an L shape that folds out into a bed and whatever. That shit ain't gonna ever take their weight. That thing is breaking straight away.
It did happen, and people sending it to me. I'm like, you're lying. And then they really sent me the clips where he really canceled the news and canceled those different shows, those different programs.
You know you coming, bro.
Hey, man.
You know you coming.
Again, are we taking legal action?
I have obtained lawyers, and that's all I'll say at this point. But I do have a legal team. My phone's blowing up.
Do you feel like it's an unserious moment for them now that they feel like they're in a good space to where they feel like they'll win this case if you were to sue and
I don't care how they feel. I don't concern myself with how they feel. I know what happened to me. It shouldn't have happened to me, and I'm ready to move on with my career. I just hope that. Have you ever like just made a big mistake in your life and you just like you regret it? That's me going over there to No Jumper in general. So my mindset when I wake up is like, damn, Dejon, are you going to get through this? Are you going to get over this? Is your career going to survive this?
Man, stop being so dramatic, man. No one cares about No Jumper that way. If you did get fucking shot the way you said you got shot, you're going to get some fucking money. You're going to get some fucking dough. And you're going to fucking live a good life. Like, let's relax. Let's fucking relax.
Like, are you? Because I've been in the music business since I was 12 years old. So it's like, that's really my main focus is me. Making sure I'm all right. Because I've had plenty of dark days since the incident.
Right. I got another question. Do you feel like, because I feel like your sexuality is like always been private. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like, okay. I would say publicly, right? I didn't know,
You didn't know?
No. I didn't. But I'm
Y'all
saying,
first time finding out was on No Jumper.
I thought it was like,
why is he trying to gaslight people? No one knew. He didn't talk about it. He didn't offer up any information. Yeah, he sounds sassy. Yeah, he sounds the way he sounds. But why is Dejon trying to act like everybody knew? Why would everybody know? Why would everybody assume you're gay because you sound it? That's kind of gay in itself. That's kind of bigoted in itself, right? That's kind of homophobic in itself. Just because you've got like a feminine sounding voice that you could be gay. Like, he's acting as if everybody knew. No, we didn't know. We will find out at the same time that you fucking said it, because it was a big deal, because you kind of came out yourself, didn't you? Come on, man. This guy, man. Like, he's a weird dude, man. I don't know. Maybe it's his way of dealing with the hyper masculine energy he's surrounded by, to kind of like have this sort of like energy. But it's like, bro, it's not that serious, man. We didn't know. You know, now we know. It's all good.
he's a little
I
soft.
think that was everybody
Yeah.
first time. I never paid attention to you,
I
bro.
don't know why.
I mean, you wore like spandex pants, but I didn't think
I don't wear spandex. This is linen.
No, but I'm saying, do you feel
Never wore
like,
spandex in my life. Bro. What are you talking about?
do you feel
Stop
like
that.
you was forced to bring that out? Because before that, I never like personally seen you publicly speak out and say, yeah, I'm gay. Do you feel like they put the pressure on you?
I've said it on Twitter. I've said it different times, but no. Someone asked me on that day. Someone asked in the whatever it's called, the chat or whatnot, and they asked respectfully. If you ask me that question respectfully, I'm going to answer it. Otherwise, that would make me DL. If someone asks you respectfully, are you gay? You like, oh no, I'm straight. I like women. That's DL to me. But you know, if you ask me in the
That's not DL. That's just a lie. No one would ever believe it anyway. Even the way he said it. Look how he said, I love women.
like, oh no, I'm straight. I like women. That's
Have you ever heard say that? That's right. Even the way he did his head movement was a little bit. It was a little bit gay. I love Dejon. He's a fucking legend. But that was fucking hilarious. One more time.
me DL. If someone asks you respectfully, are you gay? You like, oh no, I'm straight. I like women. That's DL to me. But you know, if you ask me in an ignorant way or a condescending way, I'm not going to answer you at all. You get what I'm saying?
One thing on Twitter, you talked about it before, right? Somebody was like, you were argumentative, and something like you got female tendencies or something, and then you're like, I like pink and I'm gay, so yeah, I like to argue. Something, right? Something
I've said
like,
I'm gay on Twitter before
that's why I didn't argue with you on Twitter. No, I'm fucking with you.
hit you with a rainbow.
I want to get back to your dark times, man. Like, so you
Why you smiling when you say that? Why you smiling when you say you want to get back to my dark times?
Got his teeth synced in.
Why are you happy that I had dark times? Real?
No, I'm not happy. I'm just laughing at Duno all at the same time. I don't want to forget my question. But yeah, well, let me get back to your dark times and how that make you feel. I was laughing at you because you made a good joke. But
it was terrible, bro.
Yeah,
it was just terrible. It shook me up. I don't like to deal with my emotions, which is probably why I eat so much. And for the first
What? 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 I don't like to do that's why I eat so much. What? Honestly, Dejon's a fucking legend, man. He's a fucking legend. He'd protect Dejon at all fucking costs. That's why I probably eat so much. He's trying to blame his fucking gargantuan weight on his lack of like, he's all feelings, he's all emotions. What's he fucking talking about? Come on, man. What a interesting cope. I love when fat people try and like make sense of why they're fat. Bro, you're fat because you eat too much. That's it. Simple as that.
it's not serious. Fuck it. We don't have a serious conversation. We don't have a serious conversation. Fuck it. It's cool. I'll go on Tasha K or something.
My bad.
I'll go on a serious conversation.
All right. Serious.
Bullshit.
I've always found big up Warren Keener. Big up Warren Kenya. Warren. I've always thought Pretty Flacco was an interesting name for him, because whenever I think of Flacco, I think of A$AP Rocky, right? His other name, right? Pretty Flacco. And it's like, you couldn't get them more opposite, right? Like, A$AP Rocky is well known as being a very good looking guy, very in shape, very stylish. And then you got Flacco, who's maybe one of the ugliest content creators or commentators in the hip hop space that's ever existed, and he's fucking 700 pounds at 4'5". You know, he's the complete opposite of a Pretty Flacco. You know, it's fucking hilarious that he will pick that name. I've always thought that name was fucking incredibly interesting. You know, like A$AP Rocky calls himself Pretty Flacco, and then fucking, you know, what you call it, Frederick Jalla as my guy Point and Shoot would say, right? Frederick Jalla calls himself Poetic Flutter. It's like, bro, you are not Rocky at all. If anything, you eat fucking Rocky Roads and shit, probably too many, but you're not fucking ASAP Rocky.
Serious. Hey, no.
Oh, really? Flaco means skinny. I didn't know that. Is that what Flaco means? Is that Spanish? So I guess Pretty Flaco is like, cute, skinny guy. That makes sense. That's hilarious that fucking, what you call it? Frederick Jalla would call himself Poetic Flaco. Like what? But I guess maybe he gave himself that name when he used to be skinny, because the pictures of Flaco when he was skinny is fucking crazy. He was like a different person. He put on a lot of weight during COVID. A lot of it I don't think is weight. He's probably got like, some sort of like sickness or something, because the bloat on his legs is fucking crazy. I don't think it's all food, but yeah, he put on a lot of weight, bro. He was really kind of skinny before.
Ain't no bullshit, right?
Don't bring eating into this.
No, hold on. I just seen a movie, bro, called The Whale. And The Whale is with Brendan Fraser, and he was a gay man, but he lost his partner, and the nigga was just eating. The nigga like 600-700 pounds and shit. You feel me? So I seen that movie, and I was like, damn, people really be stressed out.
Say he lost his partner?
Well, I had not lose my partner. Don't say not gonna would.
I'll play.
Nonetheless, I don't like to deal with my emotions. And since the incident, I've had to deal with my emotions. Like when that gun went off, every emotion I was suppressing in my life, all that trauma and all the bullshit just came back, and I had to deal with it every day. And I don't like it. It's uncomfortable, but hopefully it makes me a better person. But I did have to like be emotional. I had to cry. I had to sit in depression. I had to, why me? I kept asking why. Even I asked Adam, I asked Josh, why did he have this gun out around us? There's empty rooms in the back. There's a parking lot. There's different places where you could have had your gun out. Why are you on the work floor? You guys know the room. Everybody has a bit of
I definitely
know the room, so you know where the table is. That's the work floor.
Yeah, 100%.
Why is your gun out around that? So it's just why I replay the incident 1,000 times a day. Like why, and why by me of all people? Why not by someone else? Why by me? You could have killed me. You could have killed yourself. You could have killed anybody. But why me?
I never saw.
This is you got grazed by a bullet while the guy was sitting under a table. Like, relax. Why me? Why? Like, fucking.
How long did we work there?
Like 2 years.
Well, 2 or 3.
I was there almost 3.
He was
Y'all was there like 2 years.
Yeah, 2. I was only 2.
I never saw nobody clean their gun.
Yeah, why would you be doing that on the work floor?
Well, the first security guard didn't have a gun.
Oh, y'all used to have an unarmed security guard?
We didn't even have a security guard.
We were security.
No.
Yeah, AD was the fucking security.
His brother.
Oh, okay.
Your brother was
He was unarmed?
No.
Oh.
Yes, he was unarmed.
He was unarmed.
He was unarmed. No.
That's, that doesn't matter, but it's just like, I don't know why. No one can answer it. No one can answer the question because it's not logical. For why was your gun out around us on the work floor? There's no guests. There's no rappers here. I'm the only personality here, and I'm sitting here on my phone. There's no commotion. People said we fought. People saying all kind of false rumors. I didn't fight that man. We wasn't even having a conversation.
So how do you feel like that was going to affect you? You feel me? And why did you slip into a dark time? Because you could have just got over it if you really wanted to.
Gunshot?
Yeah, it's a graze.
You ever got shot?
I have.
Yeah, if
I'm
you
the
never,
one that
never
been
got
shot
shot, it's
Yeah, my ears ringing for weeks.
I got shot twice, so I know
in the leg and thigh for
man.
weeks.
Okay, that's fair. I was making fun of it too, but that's fair. Getting shot, the whole thing. And especially if it's a graze, it probably hurts more because you're always thinking, what if it actually did? Because, he's a big dude. He gets shot in the leg. He's bleeding until he gets to the hospital. Do you know what I mean? That blood's coming out like fucking one of those slush puppy machines at the fucking, at the store. You know what I mean? That shit's coming out non-stop, just holding onto it, just leaking. And, once that shit leaks, it doesn't go back in.
And weeks having to go see doctors. I don't like that, having to talk about my weight, because I'm like, why do you keep bringing up my weight? You never talk about this. They just keep talking about your weight and how obese I am and how you need to lose weight. I'm like, hey, I'm not even here about that.
Yeah,
right now.
you like, I
would never come to the doctor talking about my weight or XYZ.
So did you feel?
Yo, being fat is wild, isn't it? You got shot and you're more worried about the doctor's assessment of your weight, because obviously when you get shot or when you go to hospital, they obviously analyze everything concerning your weight and stuff and how that relates to your health. Imagine being fat and that's the main thing you're worrying about after getting shot. Fucking hell. It's like it kind of explains why fat people that are really insecure would rather wear a t-shirt at the beach than just put off there. It's like, I never understood that. It's like, you do know everybody knows you're fat. Wearing a t-shirt doesn't hide it. Just, you might as well take off your t-shirt and just enjoy yourself. Like, it's not a big deal. You're fat. It is what it is. You know, work on it next time. It's sort of the same sort of thing there. It's like, why are you more concerned about the doctor having things to say about your weight when you got shot, when the main thing is that you got shot, not your weight?
Feel like at any point did you feel like, damn, this is my karma for coming over here?
I would say that.
Like, did a picture of T-Rail pop up in your head?
No,
smiling,
a
like,
picture of T-Rail did not pop up in my head. I would not say that. But
when you was off the meds, you think about DJ Head.
What does that have to do with anything? No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
But I would say that I shouldn't have been over there. And if I wasn't over there, it would have never happened to me. Maybe somebody else would have been sitting there. Which, again, is still crazy because I don't wish that on anyone. No one should go to work and have guns going off by people that shouldn't be carrying guns or don't know how to handle guns. Because, again, he could have killed someone.
In the workplace.
You could have lost your life.
Anybody could have lost their life.
Or your thigh.
If that shit would have went a little higher, it could have went,
anything. And, again, I'm sitting at a table, so it goes off underneath the table. And just the impact of it. Out of nowhere. Ooh. For no reason. There's no explanation other than I'm sorry 1,000 times.
We know why it happened, didn't it? He probably didn't holster the gun properly. He probably wasn't on safety. He was probably fucking around with it. Maybe it was faulty. Whatever. There was a bullet already in the chamber. It's not that hard to realize why the gun went off under the table. You know what I mean? It's pretty makes sense. But if it's a shaky one, isn't it? Maybe you shake it around too much, especially with a bullet in the chamber and it basically goes off. It happens all the time.
Did anybody else reach out to you and just, in concern rather than, just trying to sweep it under the table and just saying, fuck you? You know what I mean?
It's like, brother, I'm checking on you, making sure you're good.
What you mean by
from the office?
Did anybody
from the personality. Somebody said thousands of messages from people with well wishes and concerns. There's a lot of people from the platform that reached out with a lot of different things, and I'll leave it with that.
They don't know you like the screenshot, huh?
They have to learn that.
You gave this shit to your lawyer. Flacco, you done fucked up, man.
So what grade would you give? What grade would you give Adam as an employer?
As an employer?
A grade.
Man, fuck it, F. For real, man. You gotta make sure you hire the right people to be securing your building. If this the person that you got in your building with a gun and you trust it, he's supposed to be protecting us. It's all kind of gang members coming up, banging on the door, all type of threats against the building, and this is the person you have protecting us, the person that's firing a gun. Like, he's here to protect us, and he's firing a gun when there's no guests. Everybody in this building works at No Jumper. Why is your gun out? There's no threat. The doors are locked. There's no threat. There's no commotion. No one's speaking. It's silent.
When they're unlicensed, you don't have to pay them top dollar. You know what I mean? So.
And that's the truth of it, isn't it? That's the real truth of it. Adam 22 trying to save money. It's interesting, right? He's a messy individual. He's always shit stirring, always in the middle of drama, but then he wants to cut corners on hiring armed security to secure his building when gang members and rappers and people that have issues with him are trying to come to the building, or just generally people that maybe other guest on guest drama happens as well, or host on host drama. And then you try and cut corners. Only, like, how short-sighted?
That makes sense. That's crazy. That's not
cutting
good.
corners, huh?
You feel me?
Before you got shot, though, or great.
Big up No Name. Yuri is stalking Riley. Thanks for bringing attention to it, pal. Subscribe. Big up No Name. I hope it's not true. I'm just fucking laughing and doing shit for giggles online and shit. But I secretly, or I deep down, honestly, hope it isn't true. I don't want Yuri to be stalking Riley. I don't want him to be fucking making her uncomfortable. After everything that's been happening, to do all of that is fucking wild. I hope they're just working it out as, young people do. They had a messy relationship. They had a fucking toxic relationship on the camera. And maybe they're trying to work it out where it's not always on camera and they're just letting the rumors be the rumors and not trying to clarify anything and just let it all die out. Cool. But I don't actually want him to be out there stalking her. hopefully she knows that he's there and they've agreed that he could be there, but just don't put her on camera and they're doing things the way they're doing it. Hopefully that's the case, because if he is stalking her, whew,
graced before you got graced. Yeah, technically, but he don't want.
Oh, really? No name. So he didn't go to San Fran for her. He went mostly for Fulcrum's baby shower. But to be fair, I am a bit suspicious because if they were together, why isn't he staying with her? Why is he staying with that Popo dude? I've got the feeling that maybe Riley's family don't like Yuri. Maybe that's what I'm getting. I'm getting a feeling, but that's what happens all the time, isn't it? Like I've been with people who their family didn't really like me too much, but you're still with the person. Do you know what I mean? So I get the feeling maybe the family told Yuri, "Hey, you can't stay with us. Find your own accommodation." And that's when maybe he's with Popo. But fuck, the Fulcrum thing is fucking hilarious. Honestly, man, all those dudes, man, like, yeah, whatever.
Want to put that out in there, but
yeah,
because he had a dark moment,
because then you can brag about it.
But
in the world,
that's the brag about to me. But I get what you're saying.
But
in the world,
before you got grazed, did you feel like your life was threatened? You know what I'm saying, at work a lot of times because there's so much commotion going on there.
I was very
big up No Name. He said Riley and him linked at the baby shower, but it's weird he's not staying with her. Fuck, that's so funny, innit? Imagine if they actually did break up. That's so hilarious. I wouldn't have expected it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I'd expected it because I've done many videos on Yuri and Riley, and I've always said that I think they're oddly very compatible. They're oddly very, very similar. Like Riley is the girl version of Yuri. I just think people give Riley an easier time because they think she's hot. But I think if you really put aside her looks and her fucking physical attributes and her body and shit, put that to one side and just look at her as a person, her and Yuri are very similar. That's why they are, I think, well matched, which is why I think a lot of the toxicity was almost, it was even. Like as much as Yuri was winding her up and poking her and kind of, pushing her buttons, she also knew what to do to make Yuri crash out too. So they were quite responsible for whatever was going on. I just think as a man though, Yuri's position, as a man, you should take charge and take the lead to kind of de-escalate beef. He would never let her have the last word. He'd always say something else, always be goading and kind of using the chat to kind of back him up, like strange things like that. I thought was a bit too much. And obviously the crash out over that video on YouTube was fucking insane. That was incredibly possessive and fucking redacted to be annoyed because she didn't tell you about a video that she made in high school with her gay best friend and another high school friend. It's like, what? Why are you offended that she made a YouTube video when she didn't know you? Like, it's fucking insane.
Very uneasy. It was just so much drama, just so much. Like so much fucking drama. I'm not gonna lie and say there wasn't good days, and I'm sure when you guys worked there, you would have a good day.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good point, actually. What parents would like Yuri? But that's the thing, though. I don't think the parents knew how bad it was. I think Yuri or us ourselves, maybe we don't pay attention to it because it doesn't really matter. But I think people underestimate or don't emphasize enough how destructive and how negative that video was that went viral about Yuri crashing out over that fucking YouTube video that someone sent him of Riley making that video when she was in high school. I think when everyone saw how he crashed out and how angry he got, I think people were like, oh shit, this guy's a menace. Like, because I think I remember seeing in the No Jumper Reddit or even in comments, loads of women who are like abuse victims were basically saying that's like the first signs of like actually being in abusive relationships, like stuff like that, like those type of arguments, that type of controlling behavior. So can you imagine what the parents must have thought? They don't even know this guy Yuri too well. They see him in pictures with their daughter. And then the first time they maybe see him talk or in video, they see him like berating and chastising and digging into and tearing apart their daughter live on stream about some video she made when she was 15. Do you know what I mean? Like that video fucked them up hard. And I don't think that they've ever forgiven him for it, which is understandable. Imagine if that's your fucking sister. You know what I mean? You're never going to like Yuri. You're not going to let Yuri step into your house. Like it's going to be on site.
Yeah, there were good days. There was fun times, mostly involving food. But
all right, yeah, I'm trying not to laugh, though.
We gonna get into our laugh.
But that's the thing, though, Warren. You say that, Warren. That's the thing. I think it lasts if he. This is really sick to say. So please bear with me. If Riley never went back to San Francisco, for wherever she went back, I don't know if No Name knows why she actually went back to San Francisco. But if Riley never went back to San Francisco, they don't break up. They're okay. Yuri keeping her away from her family, keeping her in that fucking apartment, keeping her high, keeping her looking the way that she did, not looking after herself, kind of depending on him, is what allowed it to last as long as it did. The moment she stepped away, obviously, the veil was removed from her eyes. You're around regular people. You're eating well. You're looking after yourself. You may be feeling cute and shit. You know, that's the main thing. Because she went back home. As soon as she went back home, that was the beginning of the end. But if Yuri would have kept her in that apartment, they would still be together now.
Right, but there was some good days, but for the most part, yeah, it was just a lot of drama, a lot of commotion, really. And it, again,
Big up No Name with all the fact bombs. Okay, there we go. It's done then. She brought the dog. It's over. She took the dog with her. I didn't know she took the dog with her. Oh, it's a wrap. She took the fucking dog. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. That dog's her fucking baby. She's a dog back home. She's not staying healthy. She's moving away.
I'm turning a blind eye. I was turning a blind eye to all like the sexual harassment and like homophobia on camera, off camera, on camera sexual harassment, off camera
sexual harassment. What? What? Who was trying to fuck Dejon? Is that a thing in LA? I know in Europe, if you're fat and you're gay, it's kind of hard because, especially the scene that I'm in terms of like, you know, dance music and nightlife, like being a fat gay dude is probably difficult to kind of, you know, to get attention and shit. Everyone here is like, you know, doing steroids and fucking ripped as fuck. Is it in America different? Do fat gay guys get a lot of action? Especially ones that look like him. Fuck. People trying to harass Dejon, right? Okay, let's see what going on.
Sexual harassment. I'm turning a blind eye to that so that I can keep coming.
Wait. What do you mean? You were sexually harassed up there?
It's on camera. It's documented.
Sexual harassment, gunshot, workplace bullying. He's gonna secure the bags. Big up Dejon. I would love it. Wouldn't it be so funny if Dejon's the reason why No Jumper goes out of business? That would be so funny. That would be so funny. He's gonna get Alex Jones, Sandy Hook levels of fucking compensation.
I'm your coworker. Why are you talking about my ass and how my ass looks and things like that?
That ain't cool.
Especially if you're a straight presented male. Why are you asking me how I have sex in bed? What sexual position are you? You guys didn't see the episode where I got up and walked out of the show because a co-host was up there asking me about I won't even repeat it, but certain sexual positions I do with my partner and things like that.
Look at AD trying not to laugh. AD's trying not to laugh. AD wants to laugh so badly. Look at T-Rail. Now it got real. Sexual harassment. Yo, Adam22, what kind of organization are you running, bro? All they have to do is turn on their cameras. Talk about fucking Gunna. Talk about Future. Talk about Drake. Talk about Travis Scott, Playboy Carti, Ian. All they have to do at No Jumper is just discuss what they see on fucking The Shade Room. Discuss what they see on Academics' Instagram account. Discuss what they see on the timeline. That's all they have to do. And just cash in the money. Sit there, bust joke. Oh my God, whose album dropped? That album was a flop. That album was a success. You see that guy's show? Did you see Doja Cat? Did you see Ice Spice twerking? Oh my God, Nicki. Oh my God, Cardi. That's all you have to do. And then just go home. But they can't do that. That's too much. All this other drama. Now look, you might cost yourself your entire platform because you just can't just do your job and go home. It's all this other nonsense going on inside the fucking office. And again, Adam's gonna act like it's not his fault. Oh, I didn't know. It's like, bro, you're the boss. You should have an overview or a handle on what's fucking going on in your fucking building, at your company, in your organization, when you're the fucking leader. No leadership, just vibes. This is what happens.
And it's like, bro, we're not friends. Like I'm here to work. I get paid to be here just like you get paid to be here. You can't talk to your coworker like that. Even with the whole Adam and Wax situation, almost every week he's bringing up my sexuality on camera. That's documented. I'm your coworker. And then Adam's sitting there pretending like, oh, he doesn't know I'm gay. But when I first started working, and you text me and ask me once I left the building, are you gay? And I have those text messages as well.
Why did he ask you that?
He wasn't supposed to ask me that. I didn't know.
Whack 100 is such a weirdo, isn't it? Why is he messaging Dejon and asking him if he's gay? What, do you want some or something? Honestly, Whack is one of the most bizarre and hard to get my head around people within that kind of world. I'm not too sure what to make of that guy. What a bizarre situation. Fucking hell, Dejon, bro.
Know that.
Yeah, why would he ask you that?
Like you want to read those messages?
Yeah, read them.
Yeah.
What would make an employer ask somebody like, "Are you gay?"
I love
why does
this
that matter?
angle. You're sexually harassing your employees, and you're getting
He used to
shot.
sexually harass AD.
Yeah, he did.
They used to talk about dicks and shit.
Wow.
What
He did that with
Did he not?
We should sue together.
Did he not?
He did that with
Wait, AD, what happened?
wait.
No
Right
more?
now I'm talking about
Look at AD climbing up. Look at AD climbing up. AD loves Adam deep down. Look at AD climbing up. He doesn't want to pile on. Look at AD climbing up. Look at AD climbing up. He doesn't want to pile on. No, I didn't get sexual harassed. I was okay with it. I consented.
So
I'm
they
still
would ask-
traumatized by
Wait,
it.
would they ask you?
If it's
Because
6
you were,
figures involved or
like-
more, I'm going.
Like you too stupid. Hey, wait. But would they ask you because you were gay? Like, or like, cause obviously it's like locker room talk, right? Like, no, hold on. But give me a second, because we talk a lot of shit. Like we talk about being fat and having shakes. That's that's a conversation we've had before, right? On camera. Like we talk shit, we say clown and all that. But were they asking you like kind of to just make fun of the fact that you were gay, or?
That's how I felt. And it
Oh,
wasn't-
okay,
These
yeah,
are one
yeah, that shit ain't
conversation that's
cool.
going around
Have
the
you ever
room.
asked a gay man what position you do?
No.
with your partner?
That's
It's
what I'm saying.
inappropriate. It's
That's not
inappropriate.
cool.
If I'm your coworker, that's inappropriate.
That's
in my
crazy, bro.
opinion.
No,
and
but
that
hear me-
happens several instances.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Or you talking about when I walk away, you know, not to be crass, but how my ass looks and things like that. That's documented on camera. Hall of Fame recoil and all these different things. Like it's inappropriate. You don't talk. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
turning
we
a
gotta
blind
get him
eye
out
to
of
that.
here.
Hall of Fame what?
And then this gun incident
Get him out of
happens.
here.
That's the breaking point. It's like I'm only human. How much can I turn a blind eye
So
to?
it was abuse going there too. Sexual harassment, abuse
On and off camera.
on and off camera, and not to mention you got grades in the workplace. I
If you-
can't believe
I got
this.
the text if you ready for me to read it.
Yes.
Yeah, read
So
it.
this happened on 9/11.
Oh, the nerve.
Yeah. So remember, I just started working there late August.
Fucking
So-
bummer.
Stop.
The nerve.
Please read
Monday,
this.
September 11th, 322. Yo, so not to be weird because I'm not homophobic, but are you gay? Because I was thinking about it, and Gina is the only person
Thinking
who
about
ever
it.
said that to me. I was just thinking about it, and I wasn't sure if she was just planting a narrative. This is Monday, September 11th.
Why is he asking you that?
This is out of nowhere.
Why does it matter?
That's the first text of Monday, September 11th. So this is out of nowhere.
Did you sign a contract as an employee?
I was excuse me.
Contracted employee. Yeah, you're a contracted employee.
Contracted employee, W-2
Oh, wow.
employee. Yeah. He asked me that. At the time, I did not know
T-Row
that
is
it was
loving-
wrong
T-Row is loving this. T-Row is loving this. T-Row is loving
for
this.
him to ask me this question. It wasn't until recently that I've learned that
You
this
were
was
That's
informed.
Yes,
I
you were
did not know that
definitely
at the time.
That's definitely wrong.
So I just replied, LMAO, I'm not homophobic. I said, yes, Adam, I've been with guys before. I've said that on the timeline before. And I think it's obvious.
Yeah, why is he asking?
And he said, hey, I try not to assume. And that was so, again, when he's sitting across from Wack every week and Wack's like, isn't he gay, isn't he gay, isn't he gay? He can say, I don't know. I will always be like, bro, you text me and ask me that. Like, what's up?
Just oblivious to everything.
Yeah, just a lot
So
of
yeah,
bullshit.
Just
you're
like
asking-
everything else.
so
It's
you're
not a bullshit,
asking-
but again, if I was not,
That is what he always does, isn't it? That is Adam 22's MO, isn't it? Oblivious. Trying to be oblivious and act like he's above everything and that he's unbothered when behind the scenes he's doing loads of stuff. Look at how pissed off Pun is. Look at Pun's face, all scrunched up. Look at how angry he is at this whole thing. Yeah. Big PU is pissed.
working there, if I had not went up there, I wouldn't have subjected myself
So
to
it's
any of that.
It's very inappropriate to ask an employer your sexuality.
I know that now.
And then harp on it and make jokes about
On
it
camera, yeah,
on
yeah.
camera, which is just abusing. That's abuse.
It's
And
abusive.
then
I agree.
that's very, very abusive.
Sexual harassment.
And then sexually harassing you and telling you about how your ass looks as you walk away is really
On
ridiculous.
camera, off
yeah.
camera, it's like
That-
And then
yeah.
get transported to the hospital.
Yeah. We need
On
to.
9/11.
yeah.
On a-
Yeah.
No, that didn't happen, but that happened on March. The text was on 9/11.
No.
Oh my God, man! I
Craziness.
mean, yeah. See,
But again,
Is Dejon's bum even that nice anyway? I got a feeling he's got one of those like fat, flat ones, like Lizzo. Does he even have a really big peacher anyway? What are they talking about? Or has he got a real big dump trunk back there? Does he have like a, I don't know, you know what I mean? Does he have a fucking Megan Thee Stallion wagon back there or something? Is that how people are commenting on it? I don't know. I get the feeling it's just like big and flat. You know, it's just like wide, but I don't get the feeling it's like, you know what I mean, like a ball.
Again,
as a black man, we need to protect you, bro.
Well, I appreciate it, but I shouldn't have went over it.
Yeah, I know you shouldn't have went over there.
You live and you learn, man.
To endure that type of pain, it's crazy, bro. An embarrassment.
Definitely, but I don't. It's definitely embarrassing, but it's like that's just, to be honest, that's really just been my life. So it's like it is.
Did you lose friends when you went over there?
I lose friends, family, people like, what the fuck are you doing?
Loss of respect.
A lot of people lost a lot of respect for me, but again, I thought my intentions were good. I wasn't going over there to be malicious. I was going over there to talk about hip hop. On my very first day, I went up there with a list.
You use it as an opportunity, just like we use it as an opportunity. It's the same. It's the same shit.
Absolutely.
So going over there, you like, you know what? AD and T-Real doing on them was over there. I'm gonna take advantage of the opportunity, just like they did. You didn't see it as long term, though.
I didn't consider you guys when I went over there. To be honest, I wasn't thinking about y'all when I went over there. I got the email offering me a job, and I was just like, I get to come up here and talk about hip hop. I don't really, you feel me, have much else that I want to talk about outside of hip hop. Here and there, I would have to talk about other topics on the news. You know how that goes if you've done the news. But my main objective was talking about
it's a win-win. You get to push your platform forward.
And I'm up there, Rappaport card every week with the Rappaport card, XYZ.
And then have to deal with the other bullshit. That shit is crazy, though.
Yeah, crazy. I definitely didn't expect that. But why would you expect a room full of straight people to be talking about my ass?
Yeah, that's out of
So-called
pocket,
straight
man.
people or straight presenting people to be talking about my ass.
That shouldn't be allowed in the workplace.
Or your employer coming to show their ass. You know what I mean? And
that happened after I left, but that was crazy too.
Yeah,
That's
that's
crazy.
sexual harassment.
That's sexual harassment for sure.
Yeah, I
Or
did see a
getting
clip of
grazed
that.
and close the door.
Yeah, and then text me when you get to the hospital. When I get to the hospital, after your business partner takes me to the hospital, you text me talking about.
That
something.
says a lot
Let's
about a
keep it off the
man,
podcast.
an employer who will watch you get, grazed, walk out, walk back in the room,
Close
don't
the
check
door.
on you, don't come to the hospital, and then text you and had a nerve to say, let's not talk about this.
And you know the sad part about it is,
What do you mean?
God forbid, if you was to die, they probably been like, nothing happened.
Just try to cover it up.
I would
Try
say
to
it was
cover
your
up
fault.
an unlicensed person firing a gun in their place of business,
Damn.
and the employee getting struck by try to cover that up. That's crazy.
And it's the next thing I was going to ask you, because there's cameras everywhere. You think they erased that footage?
That would be tampering if they have.
That is tampering. That is
But there
tampering.
are cameras all throughout the building. Because after the incident where I got up and walked out of the newsroom, maybe you guys didn't see it. There was a.
Who's breathing so heavily into the microphone? Is that Duno? Who's breathing that heavily into the mic?
After the incident where I got up and walked out of the newsroom, maybe you guys didn't see it.
hell, bro.
There was a co-host or whatnot asking me sexual questions about doing 6ix9ine and weird shit, and I'm just like, that's inappropriate. I already told him maybe 4 or 5 times to stop. Even other members were telling him to stop. He kept going, so I got up and walked out. He also got up and walked out, and they showed me the security footage of him walking out of the newsroom and falling from being so incoherent. So I know, that's how I know for a fact that they have cameras throughout the building, because Josh has shown me personally footage of camera.
The same person that took you to the hospital.
Yeah,
Yes.
you and Josh had a close relationship?
Let's make sure
I
you
was
talk
closer
about
to
that.
Josh than I was to Adam. I would say that.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
like
Josh, make
Josh,
sure you talk
Adam
about
wouldn't
that.
tell me my schedule. Josh tell you his schedule or whatnot, or what days, and so I just had a better rapport with Josh than I did with Adam. Me and Adam, I never was friendly with him. It was all I was more
Work.
in contact with Josh.
Just work.
So you just felt just like super betrayal, though. Like, damn, it's cold.
I feel like I put myself in the situation. This is just the type of person I am.
Yeah.
I put myself
In
that
that situation.
Yeah.
by going over there. I could have avoided everything. Not saying what they did or what they're doing is right. I'm not condoning that.
I wouldn't
I'm
say
saying
it's a-
I
I
didn't
wouldn't
have
say
to
it's a
be in the
betrayal. I'd just say it's just like a clear example of just a lack of care, really. Lack of care, and just lack of concern for your employees or for people that work with you. Because I think a lot of these guys are a bit emotional too. They kind of think work people are meant to be your friends. They're meant to ride for you. They're meant to take on your beefs. They're meant to back away. Like, it's not that deep. But I do think what this shows is that there's generally a lack of care, a lack of attention, a lack of love, a lack of appreciation, a lack of anything. When it comes to working with Adam, you really have to kind of just watch yourself. You kind of have to look after yourself in any way, shape, or form, because he's not going to look after you. Now, again, it's not his position or place to look after you, but in that sort of situation where legitimately somebody has been, put in harm's way, you have to kind of look after them. You have to kind of make sure that they're okay because they work for you. Do you know what I mean? You kind of care about them because they work for you. But in Adam 22's brain, it doesn't work like that. It's a fucking zero-sum game. And if he's not the one making the money, if he's not the one cashing all the checks, then he doesn't fucking give a shit. Which is understandable, again, because I think everybody's warning shot was definitely what happened to House Phone. The House Phone situation was the one that everyone should have thought, oh, this Adam 22 guy is not to be trusted in it. Because him and House Phone are like boys. They like he can't even try and pretend like they weren't friends, because they were. They know each other for a while. They were party buddies. They were butt buddies. They were fucking Eskimo brothers. They were fucking friends. And for Adam to do House Phone that dirty and have that transgender person come on and air out all his business, and then not edit it, and then not let House Phone know, and then act like it wasn't a big deal, and then pretend like he paid for his mum's funeral, all that shit. Like, oh, that's when people should have thought, okay, this Adam 22 guy is not to be trusted, because if you could do that to his friend, if you do that to his boy, imagine what he'll do to us. We don't even know him that well. So that should have been everyone's warning sign that Adam 22 guy, he barely cares about his own wife. You know, I mean, he barely cares about his own kid, especially because of the stuff that he does. Because I always say, I don't think he cares about his kid too much because of the stuff he says about people. He puts himself in harm's way. He lives in LA. If something was to happen to him, his kid will probably be with him, and the kid would suffer for the things that he said and done online. So I don't think he actually cares about anybody else apart from himself and the money he puts in his pocket. Personally, I would say that. And obviously, I've always said as well, I don't think he's a good leader. I think he's a visionary, but I think in terms of management, in terms of being the boss, he's horrendous. He runs away from responsibility. He runs away from taking decisive action. He does it kind of behind the shadows, or does it, not in people's face and shit. Like, he's a very shifty, conniving type of dude, in my personal opinion. But again, what do I know?
Situation at all if I never accepted the job offer when Miss Laura him.
Nah, bodybuilder news. We don't rock with that. You can hook up with whoever you want to. We don't support that shit. Hook up with whoever you want to, but it's not people's business to be airing out people about their shit, especially if no one else knows. Hook up with whatever you want. Trans, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. Do whatever you want to do, but it's no one else's business to fucking expose you and to let people know and put people on a platform to fucking embarrass you and fucking do nah. Especially if you're meant to be my friend. Like, fuck all that shit.
Hit me up or email me the job offer. I should have said no or not applied.
What headspace are you in now?
I'm ready to get back to talking about hip hop. Music is really the only thing that like drives me, gets me up in the morning when I wake up. So I just thank God for it. I'm grateful for music because that's really, it's all I got. It's all that keeps me going. It's everything to me.
Are you afraid for your safety at all? With people trying to like cover up certain stuff.
I have been, and I've received all kind of threats and all things. You never know if it's serious or if it's some crazy deluding fans. Them Reddit people be crazy, all type of things. People calling my phone. You see my phone been blowing up this whole time, random numbers.
Jesus Christ.
All kind of shit, bro. So yeah, but I mean, like I said, bro, it's just life. Life for me has never been easy. So it's just bullshit after bullshit. It's just what it is. Yeah. The music get me through though, so thank God for that.
Before we get into the music, because I know you got your report cards over here, and I know you got some
LA rap tests.
Yeah, some tests and some stuff you got over here. But before we get into that, are we allowed to give you some gay jokes? Because I got a few.
This nigga crazy.
No, bro, no. This ain't the time, bro. Relax. No, bro. This ain't the time. No.
And if you would, could you bring the muffins closer?
Yeah, give my boy a muffin, man. He been through enough.
I stress you.
We're not going to use our platform for shit like that, bro. We're not doing that.
If you get permission. It's not
like
that. But
I'll bring the muffin over here.
Hey, have as many as you want, bro. Have as many as you want.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. Let him get it up, cuz.
Get the fucking fucking. Give my nigga a muffin, dog.
I thought this was blueberry. Come over there.
Oh,
Lord.
Give Duno.
You want one?
I'll take it.
Of course he will.
So you don't feel left out.
Muffin break.
I appreciate it. Muffin breakers. Hey,
That's what brings the hip hop community together in LA. Muffins bring the LA community together. Anyway, my friends, I'm gonna leave you now. I covered most of it. I'm gonna off to bed now because I need to rest and obviously chill for the rest of the day. I've got another Taz happening tomorrow. Actually, a couple more streams tomorrow, and then I think I'm gonna take them Friday probably off. because I've got some parties to attend. I'm maybe gonna do a DJ live stream, so check that out. It's gonna be available very, 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 very soon for those of you that like to watch that sort of shit. But yeah, man, for now I'm gonna have to love you and leave you, my friends. Gonna have to love you and leave you. Pretty crazy situation. We've now found out that the shooting did take place. There are many witnesses: Josh, the cameras, the security guard who actually did it because he followed Dejon to the hospital. As it transpired, from what we understand now, Dejon was at the office after hours alone with the security guard in the main sort of like area. Adam 22 was in the office with the door closed, so he didn't see what was happening. That he was on his phone doing his thing on the table, and that security guard was also sitting at the table, and somehow along that time the gun went off under the table. A bullet grazed Dejon on the leg, which technically is him being shot, I'm assuming, from what these guys are talking about. Dejon was panicking, he was distressed. Josh then took Dejon to the hospital. Adam 22 showed no concern for Dejon. He didn't follow him to the hospital. He just texted him, and he just saw what was happening, closed the door, and then text Dejon when he's at the hospital, and didn't really show any kind of contrition or whatever it may be, and was more concerned about Dejon not talking about it on air, as opposed to making sure the well-being of his employee was at the first on his mind. So now we know it actually did happen. We now know that Dejon has got legal counsel and most likely will be suing No Jumper for something. And it was interesting to see how this kind of transpires and how this kind of progresses, especially now that we know now categorically that it did happen, because there's many witnesses, Josh being one of them, Adam's right-hand man, that this actually did occur. So we know it happened. I'm curious to hear how Adam 22 responses, but this is again no more proof if anybody ever needed it that Adam 22 doesn't care about anybody else but himself, and he essentially has now put himself in a position where he might jeopardize the entire future of No Jumper, not even just for the people that work there, for himself as well. He might kill that whole platform, because according to Dejon, according to these guys, the security guard who was working at No Jumper didn't have a license to carry. So I'm not too sure if that's going to complicate things. I'm sure it's not going to make things easier when it comes to the lawsuit, but it is another oversight. It is another cutting of the corner. There's just a very avoidable, very dumb mistake to make, and is now maybe going to cost Adam everything, which may be justifiable considering how he's acted and shit, but I just think it's such a dumb mistake to make. And you know, for Dejon to go on Fig Community World and to sit down with these guys who hate Adam and who Adam hates them, and then kind of reveal this news, it's definitely gonna sting. And yeah, I'm eager to see what transpires now going forward. But now we know for sure that shooting did take place. Adam 22 is lying, and constant gaslighting and kind of misdirecting is not going to clear that up anymore, unless he's able to provide proof that it didn't occur by sharing the CCTV footage or something. I don't really know, but for the most part there's witnesses, security guard, Josh, a few other people who knew what was happening during the time. So now we know what actually transpired, so let's see how that plays out. Anyway, that's it. Conclusion of the day. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. If you're watching the show via YouTube, make sure you smash the like button now before you leave. That'd be greatly appreciated. Smash the like button before you leave. That'd be greatly appreciated. I do have a massive couple of shows scheduled out, so make sure you check those out. I've got the Taz available now on my channel. Check that out. Latest episode available on my channel, so check that out as well. And another one dropping later on this evening, and maybe another one later on after that as well. We're banging out the content to get that done. There's also a new Patreon gonna be dropping very soon as well, where I review Nikki Glazer's new comedy special. So if you will like that, check that out as well very soon as well. But everybody else, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate all of you. I'll see you guys again very soon. Take care, my friends. Peace out, everybody. Peace out.